of darkness in there? Is everything okay? Flounder's cut himself off here today.
No, just working on YouTube issues at the moment. So.
Not working properly? I don't know. You go do your thing. He's in there. We don't like to bother Flounder when he's got things to do. So we... You can get a little persnickety. Anyway, so we're figuring, I don't know what's going on. I don't know anything about YouTube. I don't know how to work my TV. What do I know about fixing YouTube? So anyway, Pete Davis, what's new in the mountains of Macon?
I have made a terrible mistake, Kimmer.
Oh, what'd you do, sir? What do you mean?
Well, I was getting ready for this huge storm that supposedly hit Thursday and Friday and everything, so I was getting everything ready.
Yeah,
and I accidentally replaced my halogen bulbs with hallucinogen bulbs.
Hallucinogen bulbs. Well, what's the result?
My circuit breakers have been tripping all week, and my electric bill is super high.
Hi-oh, ha, My God, man. And by the way, what happened? I guess the story, and I was going to do my surgery Thursday, and then all of a sudden, I'm hearing on the news, the big storm, hurricane coming to Florida, it's going to hit the Georgia by the mountains, and electricity is going to be out in the power in the store and 80-mile-an-hour wind. I'm thinking, holy crap. So I called Dr. Dina's, Dr. Dina Giesler's office, Atlanta Smiles. I said, geez, should we plan for the hurricane? She said, what hurricane? I said, well, it's all over the news. No, seriously, the office girl, Denise at the office, she didn't, I said, yeah, there's a hurricane. She said, I thought that was Florida. I said, yeah, but they say it's coming here. So I'm all frantic and stuff. She says, well, hold on a second. So she said, well, would you rather do it tomorrow? I said, yeah, let's, because I was afraid they were going to maybe close the office. If we were hearing that the damn thing's going to shut things down on Thursday. So I didn't want to have them, not plan for not being able to stay home or whatever. So and now it looks like it's just going to be rainy for a couple days, and which is fine. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm getting
like 5 to 8 inches. I mean, come on.
It could be a lot. I mean, we could get some serious storm
flood
stuff. Yeah, but again, I don't know. I don't think we're going to. Well, I don't know. Anyway, I think the last I heard, the worst stuff may be coming in late Wednesday and into Thursday. So I'm going to try to do the thing tomorrow, so it prevents you from having to worry about coming down to your Thursday and also to the office staff. So anyway, I hope it's the right thing. We'll see. Anyway, whatever. I'm off tomorrow, getting the my tooth thing here done here. So 307. Also, perhaps later on, we got newsy stuff. We got Donald Trump's in Savannah. Just had a great long. He does these. In fact, there's a story from the Guardian, kind of ripping him about how Donald Trump does this rambling speaking style, kind of like the camera on a talk show, as if you go from one point to another haphazardly. Anyway, so we'll talk about that. And I can see him. He's done now, but I was watching for the last hour or so here in the studio, and he's very flamboyant, and he gets sidetracked real easy, and it's just a thing, it's just what he does, as opposed to Carmela Sidepiece, once again. Anyway, we'll talk a lot about that, and you're going to hear one of her surrogates. You're going to hear that coming up here too, as well as some other stuff. Oh, that was from my. Hold on a second, it's my landlord. What did I do now?
Pizza's here.
Receiving an email. The fire riser in your building is going to be down overnight. Keep a watchful eye for any fire. Oh, okay, I got you. Well, I'll be there. I got to answer.
What?
The fire watcher.
The fire riser?
Yeah, the fire riser is on your building is going to be down overnight. Please keep a watchful eye for any fires. A fire riser. I don't know. Obviously, it's a nice townhouse complex, and they have all the modern stuff, and they do updates and stuff like that. I have no idea what a fire riser, R-I-S-E-R, riser. I don't know what that is.
It says it's kind of like a fire sprinkler.
Anyway, so we'll be keeping an eye out for a thing. And now a little bit later on, I have, I posted, okay, did you see my video? I sent you guys my video of Archie Manning.
Yeah, I did see the video. And it's funny that you are plainly seen, and the guy on the end is plainly seen.
I didn't take
But mysteriously, both Archie Manning and Dan Pastorini are looking down, and all you see are the top of their heads.
Luckily, though, you can see the script where it mentions their names, but it's true. For some reason, they put that picture in the newspaper.
Oh,
that was
it's in the newspaper, so it has to be true.
You look at the copy. You can read the copy underneath. underneath it, Mr. Smarty
of
Pants.
course.
I'm
All
just telling
copy
you,
in newspapers, especially New Orleans newspapers.
What kind of an idiot would put a picture in the paper of the two celebrity stars who you can't see their faces? I mean,
They do it because they want to say it's Archie and Dan, but they know it's not.
No,
but they get away with it because you can't see his face.
They were singling out me and Joe Gemelli. We were the local stars. I'm sorry to say, but I hate to say, because it should have been the other two. It should have been the other two. I know that's not my logic. It's their logic.
No.
Mine.
By your logic, you say you got to believe it because of the copy. What idiot photographer takes a photo where you can't see the two stars?
I just said that.
Faces.
I just said that. I said that 12 seconds ago. I'm kind of an idiot. Would take a picture that shows the two stars when you can't see their faces. I swear to God, I said that 25 seconds ago.
Did you say that? Well, one of us has
my
seen out.
God, man. And I'm the one losing at 310. Anyway, so I did a little video there, and you can see the picture of that very pretty girl was my short-term temporary college sweetheart.
No, you blew that one too.
That's what never. But actually, it's a very sweet story about it. I may tell it later. I don't want to bore you with anything, but we'll do that. And see, we got Pete's tweets. We got quick. I was watching a little bit of the Monday Night Football and realized I forgot there's two Monday Night Footballs. And I was watching the Buffalo. I didn't care about South Carolina, whatever it was. I forgot what the teams were. Jacksonville, maybe.
South Carolina?
I don't know. Carolina Panthers. I don't know who it was. The other, but I was watching the Bills and the JT Daniels guy for the Washington No Names.
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. What is it? Jaden? Yeah, whatever his name is. And man, he's got he looked like freaking Namath. I mean, he really has. Holy criminy groomity. Now, I didn't watch much of the game. Do you want to give? And holy crap, it's sports in a couple hours. So just as kind of a tease.
Jaden Daniels looked great. He beat his former, his predecessor at LSU, Joe Burrow, who basically got the Heisman, won a national championship. Jaden got the Heisman, but he didn't win a national championship down there. Yeah. And he got tired of hearing about Joe Burrow all the time. Well, he just beat him, and the Bengals are 0-3. Yeah. Joe Burrow's body language is horrendous. That's all I'm saying. His body language, his facial expressions just say loser to me right now. I don't know what the hell's going on with him, but the guy has absolutely no confidence, and that doesn't look like he even wants to be there in Cincinnati. Really? So maybe that's the problem. Yeah. If you've ever been to Cincinnati, you know what I'm talking about here. Yeah. And the other game was that was a good game. And the other game was Buffalo destroying Jacksonville. And that Trevor Lawrence.
They were leading like 20-0. I said, well, I'm not even going to bother watching this because they were killing them. At
what point, I know he's a local kid, but at what point do you start looking at Trevor Lawrence as a bust?
That's hard to even say, though, you know it? I mean, seriously. Do you have any reaction to the Josh Allen thing? Is that a thing in the sports world? There's some lady in the football game that Josh Allen was playing. Some woman in the stands held up a big sign saying, "I'd leave my husband for Josh Allen, and he's sitting right here next to me," or something. And apparently the feedback of people it's gone viral, so it's all over the place. And Josh Allen, by the way, is dating Haley Steinfeld, or whatever that gorgeous knockout actress's name is. He's dating her, and apparently the world reacting to this bimbo idiot trying to get attention on YouTube, which she did. If you were her, if that was my wife, and holy cow, we're joking around or not, baby, you put her stuff on the driveway. Anyway, I'm so.
I just like the fact that Josh Allen is suddenly decided I'm going to hit the turf and slide instead of taking 5,000 hits every season.
Yeah, that's probably smart. Anyway, it's already 3:13. Geez, coming up, we got a billion things. Donald Trump in Savannah. Also, is there a storm coming? I don't even know whether to prepare for flooding, or I don't know if it's a thing. And we got so much stuff here. The failed assassin's son is a pervert. Also, even the surrogates for Vice President Bump and Grind can't answer his simple questions. All coming up. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 3:13 on 106.3. Look out.
Hey, it's Tug. The Morning Extra has you covered from 6 to 10, and Kimmer's got you on the ride home.
Jen Psaki, holy cow. Jen Psaki's a former White House liar, now a liar for MSNBC. And they were talking and gabbling and bickering about all the things that these ladies do. And they were she was talking about how she would compare Hillary Rodham Peace Sticky Fart Cabbage with Vice President Cleopatra. Cut number 1, sir.
This magical, charismatic quality in person. So do a lot of politicians. People say that about Hillary Clinton. Also true.
Holy moly. Magical, charismatic quality in person like Hillary?
If you say it enough, somebody's going to believe it, I guess. Yeah.
They just keep saying this stuff.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Echo and Howard Brothers. It's football season, and your yard deserves the best team on the field. Echo Power Equipment. Available at Howard Brothers. Make your yard the MVP with Echo, the choice of pros and homeowners alike. Whether it's leaves, branches, or the lawn, Echo's got the tools to tackle any job. And at Howard Brothers, they've got the lineup that's ready to play. Stop by your local Howard Brothers today and fuel your football season on and off the field. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Echo and with Howard Brothers.
Have you considered securing your family's future, protecting your hard-earned assets, navigating complex legal matters with ease? Nelson Elder Care Law is here to guide and empower you and your loved ones. As a family-owned and family-focused business, our mission is to exceed your expectations, offering absolute assurance and peace of mind. With our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust and expertise in customized estate planning, Medicaid crisis solutions, probate administration, guardianship, and conservatorship, Nelson Elder Care Law protects what matters most to you. Imagine a team dedicated to safeguarding your legacy every step of the way. Our flat fees ensure transparency, and our customized plans prioritize your family's specific needs. Are you worried about protecting your family and your legacy after you're gone? Let us help you ensure you're absolutely protected from whatever curveballs life may throw your way. Schedule a complimentary legacy planning meeting with our legal team in Marietta or Woodstock today. Contact us at 678-250-9355 or visit at nelsoneldercarelaw.com.
You take it for granted, but it's the biggest piece of moving equipment in your home, your garage door. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. When trust matters, like when your garage door doesn't open or needs to be replaced, trust us. Here's why. All Four Seasons is a local, family-owned company built over 25 years ago on honesty, customer service, and teamwork. If you've got garage door issues, trust us to repair or replace. We'll make it easy. All, the number 4, seasonsgarages.com.
Escape from the city into an outdoor sanctuary offering 36 holes of championship golf at Stone Mountain Golf Club. Located inside Georgia's most visited attraction, Stone Mountain Golf Club offers golfers of all skill levels 2 unforgettable golf courses. Stonemont, designed by Robert Trent Jones Sr., will test every club in your bag and offers an official U.S. Kids Golf Family Course. Lakemont features stunning vistas of Stone Mountain while winding around the lake, providing an unforgettable golf experience. With resort accommodations at the Atlanta Evergreen Lakeside Resort, our stay and play package offers a perfect getaway for buddies groups, couples, and families. Our full-service restaurants offer delicious food and beverages and is open 7 days a week to serve you. Our PGA professional staff would be delighted to help plan your next company or charity tournament and provide an exceptional experience for your organization. Plan your escape to Stone Mountain Golf Club by visiting stonemountaingolfclub.com for more information.
Hey, it's Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. We're live from the EIB studios every weekday from noon to 3, right before the Kimmer on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Joanne Worley.
Laughing. Woohoo! God, I remember Joanne Worley. 1998, former Guns N' Roses drummer Steven Adler, 33 years old at the time, was sentenced to 150 days in jail for beating 2 women he had dated and for violating probation from beating someone earlier. The drummer Steven Adler also given the condition of undergoing a year of domestic violence counseling and a ban on using illegal drugs. Well, we're banning you from those illegal drugs, sir. That didn't work out too well for the man. I guess he has a problem beating women of some kind.
Was that Axel Foley singing there? Guns N' Roses. On Guns N' Roses.
Axel Rose.
Axel Foley.
Rose.
Axel Foley.
Axel Foley's from Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, same thing.
By the way, go ahead.
His voice reminds me. That's what if a Chihuahua sang rock and roll. That's what it'd sound like.
El Queso Paso or whatever the hell that was.
Taco Brit,
Taco something or other. What was it? Queso Paso, some damn thing. And by the way, speaking of Axel Foley, one of the funniest 4-minute segments in moviedom is when Axel Foley goes into that art studio and little Donka, whatever his name is, comes out to wait on him and says,
So what is it pertaining?
Axel Foley. See you. As to what it's pertaining. Very funny.
Bronson Pinchot, I think.
That's what it was. By the way, I'm very disappointed in myself. I looked at 4 different birthday lists, and I've never heard of like 95%. Even Flounder's list I have 2 sports birthdays, which I'll save for Pete after 5. And other than that, I have 2 birthdays that I've heard of that are on my birthday list. One of which I'll give you now, Kevin Sorbo. One of the Hercules guys. Kevin Sorbo is 66 years old today. And on this day in history, it was 1941. This was the beginning of the Pearl Harbor attack. The Japanese consul in Hawaii has been told to draw up Pearl Harbor into 5 zones and calculate the number of battleships in each zone. Then get all those findings back to Japan so they can fix the final plan for the raid on December 7th at Pearl Harbor. Started today in 1941. 404-741-1230, 404-741-1230. Oh, by the way, one of the great American sportsmen and gentlemen of all time, Bill Sheehan, the guy who I totally embarrassed myself in front of, who was so kind to give me Masters tickets, and then I stiffed him with my friend Danny McLefty, the thing, for a while, and then we tried to make it up anyway. And he took Pete Davis for the trip around Augusta National. Anyway, Bill Sheehan was listening a while, and I assume still is. Bill, thank you so much. He said, Fire Riser, we've talked about my landlords and the thing. Fire Riser is where all the equipment is for a building. Separated from all the other units. Oh, it's where all the equipment is for the building. Separated from all the other units. Okay. Well, again, either way, we'll be looking for fires tonight, just for the record. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Again, I'm off tomorrow. Pete and Flounder will be doing the show. Everything will be fine. And I guess the storm, we were going to talk about whether people are raiding the shelves at Kroger and Publix, but it's just, we may get some flooding, but it doesn't look like it's going to be much of anything tomorrow and Thursday, but we'll keep you posted.
No wind?
But, they were saying 50-mile-an-hour winds, which is severe, but it's not hurricane anything. So anyway, just keep a lookout, and we'll keep you posted. When it's in the news, you'll know. It's at 3:22 already. Holy cow. Well, let's begin. A couple of Donald Trump things. He was here in Savannah and was talking about making America rich again and all that kind of stuff. He's featuring a lot on the economy, which is pretty smart, including Donald Trump says now that if John Deere moves its company to Mexico, then Donald Trump, if he wins, will impose a 200% tariff on John Deere tractors. John Deere said it was going to lay off 600 employees at 3 plants this year to move production of their steer loaders and compact track loaders to Mexico by the end of next year, a couple of years. It would impact a couple of places in Iowa and Illinois. And Donald Trump says if you do it, the same thing with automakers, I'll give you a 200% tariff. You'll have to pay if you want to bring your stuff back into America. So, among other things. He also was in Pennsylvania saying if we win Pennsylvania, we win the whole thing. Pennsylvania went for Biden and their 20 electoral votes. That would probably make the difference. And he says it's clearly in play now. And again, the polls, I'm going nuts. Every day there are new polls coming out, and they're all basically, other than Carmela getting an awful lot of recognition for how much people like her suddenly, which I don't understand, that they're basically 50-50. Almost every poll you see is within 4 points of each other, which is the standard deviation of almost any poll. If it says, 52-48, it's 50-50. So when they say 1 point difference, that's meaningless. It could be 5 points. It could be either way. Anyway, Donald Trump was talking about his style. He's defending his meandering rambles. This is an article by The Guardian. Trump joked he nearly called Pennsylvania a state rather than a commonwealth, saving himself from a gaffe that he claimed would invite negative headlines. He said, I'm cognitively very strong, but Carmela's a very dumb person. Winston Churchill was this great speaker. I get much bigger crowds than him, but nobody ever says I'm a great speaker. And so this is Trump, this is what he does. He says, I'm going back to calling Biden Sleepy Joe instead of Crooked Joe because he's just not smart. He's not acting as president anymore anyway. I'm going to go work at McDonald's next week. Going to see if McDonald's did a job like a French fries for about half an hour because I don't think Carmela actually worked there at all either. Anyway, he's going back to Butler, Pennsylvania, and he's going to display the immigration chart that saved his life from the Butler shooting. He says he sleeps with that page every night. Immigration saved my life. Anyway, fairly cool with Donald Trump. Now, I'll tell you something that really made me nuts today. 3:25, by the way, with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on your Tuesday. Oopsie daisy, hold on a second. I went to the wrong thing. This story is fairly new here. This really makes me freaking crazy. President Child Molester went to the United Nations today. And representing America, unfortunately, and one of the main points he made makes me want to pull the rest of my hair out. President Stupidface says that this will likely be his final speech to the United Nations General Assembly, but he says he thinks every day about the 13 Americans who died in the suicide bombing at Kabul's airport during the botched pullout from Afghanistan. 13 brave Americans, he said, lost their lives along with hundreds of Afghans in a suicide bomb. I think of those lives. I think of them every day, he said, stumbling slightly over his script. He called the proceeding with the August 21 fiasco a hard decision, but the right decision. He touched on major conflicts, global health concerns, rise of artificial intelligence, global freaking warming, and stuff like that. Of course, the Afghan withdrawals is a huge election year thing. But, almost every speech now, the last thing he says is God bless our troops. Screw you, you dirty, stinking, lying phony. You do not think of those 13 people that you had murdered. That's your fault. And again, they showed the videos again the other day. I'm glad they do. Remember the airplanes trying to take off from Afghanistan with those people hanging onto the wings, thinking they're going to fly to America, hanging onto the wing of this giant jumbo cargo plane. I mean, good God. I mean, what was the hurry? Why did they have to take off right then? They could have said, hold on, let's get these people off the wings. I mean, an idiot would have said, wait a minute, this isn't working. Let's just slow. What's the freaking hurry? They weren't under rocket attack. Jeez, the whole thing is just disgusting. And he says, I think about those troops every day. You rotten snake. And by the way, Carmela's getting ripped too about the Al Smith dinner, which we'll talk about that in a second. Let's see. Hold on a second. First, let me tell you, there's another kind of a breaking story, which is real creepy. Speaking of Donald Trump and the second assassin guy, Ryan Routh, the son has now been arrested on child pornography charges. The son is named Orrin, O-R-A-N. Orrin Routh is accused in North Carolina federal court of receiving and possessing child porn. The feds discovered it when they were searching their home in Greensboro as a part of a different investigation, obviously. But then, when they collect everything, they collect all the laptops and phones and everything else, and boom, bam, pow, here's all this stuff. This is the son again of the would-be assassin number 2. The videos show children as young as 6 being sexually abused. There was child porn on another Galaxy Note that he had on him.
What is this? It's like a national plague of this pedophile.
I mean, I'm just...
every day, every other day, it's a teacher, it's a politician. I know. Every day. I don't know what. I mean, is it a social media link? Is it easily get to things that you can satisfy yourself now that you couldn't before? I mean, I guess it's the phone and the laptop computer. I mean, I guess you can just get anything. I'm scared that there's so many of them.
Well, they're obviously everywhere. I mean, this is just some guy, greaseball with a goofy father, and just by chance they discovered this whole situation. Oh my God! I mean, it's just just totally freaking creeps me out. Totally creeps me out. Let's do a little fun here, Flounder. Let's play a soundbite number 2. Speaking of Carmella, you're going to hear from Cardinal Timothy Dolan in New York, who's criticizing Carmella's side piece for not going to the Al Smith dinner coming up here in a couple of weeks. But first, Flounder, even she can't explain her positions. Vice President Bump and Grinds, even surrogates can't do it. Here's one of her girls trying to explain policy decisions and platforms by the vice president. And while finally the media is asking for some old-fashioned news conferences, here's how that conversation went. Cut number 2, sir.
What is Harris's plan? We're waiting.
Okay, there's a lot of aspects to it in regards to looking at it online. So let's talk about lowering the grocery cost, because that's something that's brought up. The viewers can look at this online. She talks about certain things in regards to advancing the first federal ban on price gouging on food and groceries, to set clear rules to the road to make it clear that big corporations can't unfairly exploit consumers as well.
Is that happening? Is that happening?
It's not at this moment. No, this is her plan that's laid out for the first 100 days when she becomes president of the United States of America.
Gouging, is that currently happening?
In regards to I don't know exactly if that's currently happening or not, because I'm not privy to that type of information. But there are people costing a lot of money in regards to groceries.
What?
Okay.
No.
And that
You're
potentially
having
is
a hard time articulating her plan. And
honestly, that's not true. Please, I'm constantly being interrupted by you, which as a woman, I think is disrespectful. When I'm trying to speak, every time I try and speak, you speak over me.
Okay, final thought.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my God, these freaking phonies in regards to the prices of the grocery. I mean, it's just they can't help it because they've got nothing, and they're even getting called out by Democrat other girls. Oh, as a woman? What do you mean as a woman? What the hell is that?
Woman talking here.
Let's do some mansplaining. Oh my God! Excuse me.
Excuse me. There's a woman talking.
Oh my God. Let's elect them president. Yeah, let's get her in charge of the world. Oh my God. 331. Give her Pete and Flounder. Look out.
Atlanta radio legends, proud military vets, national network experts are all on Extra 106.3.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months.
With live and local shows in the morning and afternoon, and the biggest conservative hosts in the country throughout the day. We are always here with the latest news and opinions you need.
There's no chance if the media and the Department of Justice and social media are all against you.
No traffic interruptions. No former shock jocks. Just Atlanta legends you've turned to for a generation. The conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
The clock is ticking. Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is almost over. Until September 30th, you can get 5 years of 0% financing on any purchase. It's the perfect chance for worry-free shopping with no interest and monthly payments customized for you. And now open Sunday, September 29th. Take advantage of this amazing opportunity. From luxury timepieces to engagement rings and more. Don't wait. Spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest on approved credit. Only until September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Oh man, look at my backyard. Looks like a tornado met a hurricane in a desert. I'm going to tell her to turf off.
Or maybe
maybe you'd rather turf on with ATL Turf Co., the Southeast's leading turf installer. Whether you'd like a new football field, putting green, or have us create the perfect maintenance-free backyard of your dreams, find ATLTurfCo.com. Make your yard great again. Visit ATLTurfCo.com and see what we've created for customers like you in the Southeast. ATLTurfCo.com. And no more yard cackling.
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Oh, hey, Bobby. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm having deck problems.
You're having deck problems?
Hey, keep it down. It's embarrassing.
Now, look, there's plenty of guys in the neighborhood with deck problems. What's the matter with yours?
Well, it's small and old compared to yours.
All right, let's not make this a deck measuring competition. You just need to call Excavations. They've seen decks of all sizes, shapes, and colors. Good news is Excavations can build you a sweet new deck that you'll love to show off to your friends and neighbors. Don't worry, Jimmy. We're going to get you some big deck energy.
Hi, this is Candace with Excavations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't feel ashamed of your deck. Excavations can build an outdoor living space that you'll be proud of. And with our Exavision, we'll be able to show you your home's transformation before you even begin the work. Keep the HOA off your deck and give us a call today for decks, windows, siding, roofing, and more. Or visit us at exovations.com to get inspired.
I just thinking, I could not name you one song. Stack of Beans. I can name one song. Stack of Beans by Red Hot Chili Peppers. In 1991, on this day, they released their 5th studio album, Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Contained the hits Under the Bridge and Give It Away. The album, which was produced by Rick Rubin, propelled Red Hot Chili Peppers into worldwide popularity and critical acclaim. Uncomfortable with fame, John Frusciante quit the band during their 1992 tour, and they rejoined in 1998.
Frusciante is how you pronounce it. You probably know this song.
Frusciante, is it?
Is that the one with Axel Foley in it? Does he play bass?
Axel Foley. Some idiot says, Axel Foley. To the phones. Hey, Adam, you're on the radio, man. How's it going? What's up?
Hey, guys. Good afternoon. Semper Fi. So I want to talk about Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
She's crying that Trump wants to end the Department of Education. Yeah. I say that's a good thing because since 1979, we have spent almost $2 trillion on that useless, redundant, unconstitutional bureaucracy.
Yeah. And again, let's look at the results. Let's look at where America stands in the world. I mean, I'm seriously. I mean, and I hate to compare us to places like Japan, where I think they go to school pretty much 50 weeks a year, and their parents demand they do 7 hours of homework every day and kind of stuff. But still, I think we're. I mean, especially nowadays, I don't know what I don't know what the schools are teaching. I don't know whether they're teaching them how to think or just look up stuff. I mean, I don't know.
Right, and this year for fiscal year 24, their budget is $90 billion, and test scores aren't going up, and kids are not learning.
Well, you have to. If you put the facts together, there's no other conclusion. And again, these are the same people who are against. For all the money spent per child, you would think that there would be a better system of making people better, young people better able to deal with not only current events but the future ahead of us, because it's growing. This AI business, I mean, that is the starting point for a whole different kind of world that's just opened up in front of us, and we have no idea about its limits or capacity. And if we're not, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to make one last point. It was basically Jimmy Carter paying back the teachers' unions who supported him. Have a good one.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Adam. Yeah, again, the teachers' unions are, they still, I mean, it used to be the Teamsters. And now I think the teachers' unions are probably the most powerful in the country. They certainly seem to have the most impact on socialism The way not only they're teaching our kids, but also the fact they won't let, the kind of a system where Donald Trump wants to have, where communities can decide how you want your kids educated. If you're spending $10,000 per kid, I'll bet the parents could use that to get a lot better educational system, parental choice and stuff like that. Anyway, 339. A quick thing. On Vice President, again, these freaking cowards. There's only one reason that Vice President Bump and Grind is not going to the Al Smith dinner, and that's because she's afraid that not only is she going to get mocked like crazy, because that's the whole point of it is to make fun of the candidates when they show up. This is a yearly dinner. The Al Smith dinner since the 40s, after World War II, has been the yearly dinner for the New York City Catholic Charities to raise charity money, and it's a great cause, and they all make fun of each other. They do it every year with a few exceptions, which I'll talk about here in just a second. And Carmela says she's not going. And so she chose to skip the dinner. Each nominee usually tells self-deprecating jokes, takes jabs at one another. Donald Trump raked Hillary over the coals in 2016, so it's likely Carmela realized she was no match for Trump and that she's too stupid to deliver the jokes her staff would have to write for her without looking like a total idiot. But Cardinal Dolan has just humiliated Carmela and exposed that she's controlled by her handlers. The Cardinal of New York himself said, quote, "This hasn't happened in 40 years since Walter Mondale turned down the invitation. And remember, he lost 49 out of 50 states." And Chuck Schumer, Senator, a suspected child molester, said to the Archbishop, "I don't think she made the decision. I think her schedulers are saying she just can't make it." Yeah, no kidding. This hasn't happened in 40 freaking years. And again, she's a coward. That's why she's not holding a news conference. And finally, there are more people in the media saying we need to get answers from her where she's not just sitting down with her friends having a discussion. She needs to get in front of a podium for an hour with anybody asking the questions and the follow-ups that we need to have the answers to, and she won't do it. Now, I don't think this has ever been done. I don't think any president in the history of this country has ever avoided the media for a news conference ever.
And if she gets away with it and they get her elected, guess what? At what point do we have an AI person, since they're never seen and they never have to talk? At what point do they put up an AI running for president?
You're exactly right. What's going to happen is, when somebody's got a question, they're going to say, well, that's number 7. Go to number 7 and it'll go right into your brain, and then you'll know exactly what we want you to know. And there's no need for her to show up anywhere. You won't even know if there's a person there. Why would you have to know?
Nobody voted for her to put her in this position, which is incredible. Nobody voted for this woman.
In fact, she was so unpopular that she dropped out before the first primary vote.
Yeah. And they tried to kick her off the ticket, too.
And by the way, I saw a great ad the other day by Donald Trump, was running on Fox, and it showed her repeatedly saying time after time that transgender people need the same services, and transgender prisoners and transgender illegal immigrants have the right to the body they deserve. It. I mean, she said it over and over and over, and finally Donald Trump is having her visually saying these things, and you don't see many of the ads. And I don't know whether it's going to make any difference. I don't think anything from this point on is going to make a lot of difference. I mean, who's going to make a difference? I heard one guy on the show before us, one woman, who said she's going to really wait till the last minute. She's a Democrat, but she really can't support what's going on here. But she's about to get laid off, and she's afraid of the economy. So she knows that the federal government will take better care of her under a Democrat than a Republican, she's thinking. So, I mean, and then her other issue was abortion. And she may make a decision on the election based on abortion. And God, what a horrible thing that you can get an abortion. Again, please, liberal ladies, listen, you can get all the abortions you want. Okay, I mean, seriously, you may have to drive a couple hundred miles. Okay, you may have to cross state line, but you can get one. You can have all you want. You can take the pill morning. You can get abortions. Really, it's not the reason to not to save your country. You can get it. Anyway, I just, why is this even a freaking thing? 343. Oh, by the way, let's do cut number 1 here, Flauto. This is kind of weird. I heard Glenn Beck this morning talking about what's been happening. Well, you know what's happening in American radio in particular, the media in particular, but TV and radio. Particularly, well, look at television. There's only basically one source of even legitimate decent neutral or conservative news. I mean, there aren't many, Fox and
Newsmax.
Yeah, okay, well, 1.5. I mean, Newsmax is not a power source yet, but again, they're there, so there are a couple. But other than everybody else is all anti-conservative. So that's a major change in the media in the last 10 or 15 years, especially since Trump 8 years ago. But the other thing is the same thing with radio. There are not conservative radio. The Rush Limbaughs are gone. We have it on our station, and Glenn Beck was saying that he, of course, he's a nationally syndicated guy, and he is on a whole bunch of stations owned by the George Soros Group. And guess what? The Federal Communications Commission is supposed to safeguard American people from the abuse of the airwaves by unscrupulous slime bags like George Soros. Well, the FCC just fast-tracked Soros in his company quest to buy more than 220 radio stations for his socialist, leftist, anti-American attack on America. This has never been allowed before. Flounder, here's an FCC commission report and people complaining about the Soros being able to get away with this. Number one, sir.
Indicated there's a transaction where a Soros-backed group would take ownership of over 200 radio stations across 40 different markets after the FCC originally indicating that transaction could be reviewed and approved at the bureau level without a commission vote. It's now become clear that is a decision before the full commission, and it's one that I would assume now or in the near future the commission would approve. I think what's interesting about it is that the FCC here is not following its normal process for reviewing a transaction. We have established over a number of years one way in which you can get approval from the FCC when you have in excess of 25% foreign ownership, which this transaction does.
Yeah, foreign.
And it seems to me that the FCC is poised to create, for the first time, an entirely new shortcut.
Yeah, thank you. As you pointed out here
yes,
in previously,
yes,
these
did,
proceedings for transfer of ownership have been expedited. What exactly makes this case so deserving of an expedited proceeding so far, from what you can tell?
There is nothing about this transaction that is out of the ordinary. It's the type of thing that we see all the time, and the FCC has a process for this. The full commission itself has never signed off on a shortcut like this. What we usually do is we require people to file a petition with us. We bring in national security agencies. They can review the foreign ownership. It's probably no big deal here, but we review that foreign ownership and then
probably
we vote.
No big deal. Yeah.
Here, they're trying to do something that's never been done before at the commission level.
Yeah. This used to take years, and the FCC used to be. Remember, the FCC used to crack down if you were not properly equal time talking about people and the fairness doctrine, all that stuff. One was from the Congress, but the FCC rules. Everything's different now. I mean,
George Soros individually shut down the British banking system and almost brought the government to heel. He has shown he is reckless and not responsible with something that powerful.
And how many times have we talked about George Soros bought politicians, DAs all over America? I mean, it's by the hundreds. And you see what
check the bank accounts of these FCC guys.
Something's really stinky here. 346, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, happy Tuesday, and 404-741-1230. If you'd like to join us, would be our pleasure.
It's Rhino from the Morning Extra, getting your weekday morning started from 6 to 10 a.m.
Did y'all see the article from Time Magazine? On the front cover of the magazine, talked about, are processed and ultra-processed foods really that bad? Because that's been what RFK Jr. has been attacking.
The answer is correct. They're all bad.
Yes, they are. Of course they are. But you have the unhinged left going, well, are they? If RFK says they're bad, maybe they're not so bad.
I made my wife stop giving my youngest daughter Lunchables.
Well, yeah, because those things are just like,
they're horrible.
They're not even real food. They're not even real, but that's the thing. They are so unhinged on the left. Next, let's say RFK Jr. says, you know what, smoking's real bad. You're going to have the front of Time Magazine with nothing but a pack of Cools. Yeah, there'll be Cools. It'll be Cowboy Killers, Marlboro Reds, and they'll be like, are they really that bad? That's what's coming next.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Hey sandwich lovers, today's your lucky day. There's a whole new way to roll for lunch or dinner delight with Nucky's Hoagies in the Roswell Corners Shopping Center. Now open. Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell is family owned and operated by the Sub Sisters, Stacy and Shannon, whose love language is food and Nucky's Hoagies, their passion. When you bite into a Nucky's Hoagie, you'll taste the difference. The softest hoagie rolls ever, along with hunger-quenching sandwich combinations. Make Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell on Woodstock Road your new favorite spot for lunch or dinner.
Hi, this is Ben.
And I'm Walt from Horizon Background Screening. About 15 years ago, I was running a private investigations company, and my partner Ben here was running a background screening company and saw the need to put the two together. The background screening helps employers, churches, volunteer organizations, and those sorts of things to help find the right people, get those right people in place, and screen out people that would be a hindrance to their company. On the other end, the investigative work, we can help companies, individuals, insurance companies, law firms gather information, a lot of times around lawsuits and other legal work like that, but also helping people when they're going through a divorce or going through other hard things in life.
25 plus years, we've just been blessed with growth and have basically become a nationwide provider of both pre-employment background checks and private investigative services.
The best way for people to find us is on our website. A quick Google search of Horizon Background Screening or look at us at horizonscreening.com.
Central Heating and Air Conditioning wants you to know the start of the new season is the perfect time to ensure your home's comfort for the fall and winter. Don't wait like most people do to have your HVAC system serviced. Your home should have maintenance twice a year. Maintenance helps keep your furnace running at peak efficiency and extends the life of your equipment. Turn to the experts for your system's maintenance at 770-GET-HEAT or centralheat.com. Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speed, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Carrier products, carrier warranty, and carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta Carrier expert since 1947 and one of the few second-generation locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Are you looking for something simple but delicious, sweet but also savory? Discover Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. Schumann Farms is a third-generation family farm with the Real Sweet brand and Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions. Each brand brings savory, sweet deliciousness to every meal. Whether you're grilling, sautéing, or simply adding a fresh crunch to your salad, Schumann Farms has you covered. Look for Schumann Farms Real Sweet brand and your Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions at your grocery store and taste the difference for yourself. Schumann Farms, the Georgia family farm growing tradition and the world's sweetest onions.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
This fall, the Gridiron calls, which means you'll be road tripping to games across the South, and you'll need a reliable ride to get you there. And Subaru of Gwinnett has the vehicle for you. But a new car, truck, or SUV from Subaru of Gwinnett is about way more than just getting to the games. It's about getting the family home. It's about getting to work safely, but it's also about getting the most out of every adventure. If you're driven by an adventurous heart, the 2025 Subaru Outback shares your spirit with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 32 miles per gallon. Or maybe it's the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. It holds the road with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, and it holds everything you need for the tailgate. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com and let your adventurous mind run wild. Then stop in for a test drive on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth.
Look out. 352. So me, it's only the Kimmer. Pete Davidson flounder at AC/DC, baby. 1990s today. Yeah, they released the Razor's Edge. AC/DC's 11th internationally released album, the only studio album to feature drummer Chris Slade, reached number 2 in America, number 4 in Britain. One of their many love songs, easy to dance to song, right here. Yeah, 353. My nipples are hard as a rock right now. To cut glass with these babies.
Hang hard.
Don't stand up. 353. To the phones, taking priority. Dale, you're on the radio, man. What do you think? What's up, sir?
Okay. First,
yes.
Founder said that you're already aware of this network, One American News Network. They deserve some attention to your listeners.
Yes, sir.
Get it,
absolutely.
Get the app on the phone and all that crap.
Yes, sir. All right, sir.
Secondly, as far as George Soros is concerned, I, for the life of me, can't understand why this country hasn't arrested him and for treasonous acts. The
Sedition
man has ruined Britain, as has already been stated. He's ruined more than Britain, and the guy is why he's not deported at the very least, if not hung in a square. I, for the life of me, don't understand.
Dale,
and lastly, I'm 75 years old, and you go back to your days at GST.
Yeah,
I've been listening to you for decades.
I'll be darned. Well, thank you. I'm very flattered. Again, I don't. We're in the same age bracket. I don't get this. I've never seen this in my life. Have you ever experienced anything like what's been happening in this country, particularly in the last 8 years, but really since the days when the media would be all over stuff like this and do something about it, and it's gone. I mean, we're in this flow of this this momentum, and it just keeps going, and I'm flabbergasted. I'm horrified.
Well, so am I, and I'll tell you how flabbergasted I am. I am looking forward, honestly, to dying, because I can't stand where this country's at and what's happened. I can't deal with what goes on that you have to deal with on a daily basis in this country anymore. Nobody cares about their jobs. You go to a place like a Walmart or any place else,
service industry.
You're constantly spun around. That's just one example.
Automated. The world's so different. But again, don't give up. Don't give up, Dale. We need you. I know what you mean. I don't like where my country's going. I don't like the daily stuff that's happening now. All of a sudden, it's just, I don't like it. It's not part of my life. And, but don't give up. We need you, because one of these days we may be going on the front lines again, and I know you'll be there with us. So keep the faith, my friend.
I was just going to say that. I have my gun, Timmer, and I'll be right there with you. I'll be the first one if anybody comes here to this little county of mine, which is a very rural, conservative county. They vote 95% conservative.
Outstanding.
Believe me, they'll get a bullet right between their eyes.
Dale, thank you. God bless you, my
Dale's
friend.
Dale's my neighbor.
All right, Dale. There you go. Hoorah, my friend. There you go. This is a show for Dale right here. Yeah, don't give up, man. I mean, again, guys like I see, we're at the stage, we'll just kill you. I mean, honestly, I got nothing to lose. I mean, you can't mess with me anymore. What the hell are you going to do to me? I mean, seriously, what are you going to do to me?
We're still mean. We're still fast. The stamina isn't quite there.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't have all day to fight.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to, scale any buildings, okay? But I can drive a truck. I can load a weapon. I can
pull a
definitely
trigger.
Squeeze a trigger. 357, Flounder. How about a little something for Nucky's Hoagies? Just for the fun of it. What do you got there?
It's funny, man.
He's talking about
everything
Trump.
he does, he will tell you that
Donald
everybody in his life told him not to do it. He announces that. He wants to let you know he was not supposed to do whatever he just did. But you remember Shalamani, right? Shalamani, Kashal. There's a lot of ways to say it. Shalamani, call him Salami, whatever he did. Shalamani, this guy was a bad guy. He had blood on his head. They said, sure, we can't take him out, right? Sure, we can't do it. It's impossible. Drone shot 2 days, right? Warp Speed. You remember Warp Speed, the vaccine? I made it so quick. So quick. They said, sir, you can't do it. I said, I'm going to invent a speed. Think of it. I invented warp. Nobody's even, right? Nobody's heard of warp before. Warp speed. Even Einstein couldn't do it. Faster than even lightning. Even Edison, that failure, he couldn't even do a speed like that. The lightning speed has got nothing. Warp speed, it goes quick, fast, very fast. Very, very fast. And then warp. And I did warp. And of course, they said, sure, you can't do it. It'll take 15 years to make the vaccine. It'll take 20 years. Sure, I made it in 2 days. Warp speed.
That's a pretty clever. Who's that, Flounder?
Tyler Fisher. Mike sent me. Our engineer sent me some of those.
Yeah, he's pretty funny guy. And the best ever speed there was. Oh, mercy. 358. By the way, on this day in history, I've been very lax in giving you my history list today. On this day in history, 1991, Dr. Seuss passed away from cancer. He was 87. Real name, Theodore Seuss Geisel. Dr. Seuss never had kids of his own. His first book, by the way, was rejected by more than 20 publishers. Said, you got to be kidding me. Some of his more famous books were The Cat in the Blender, I Can Poo, Can You, One Fish, Two Fish, Three Fish, Hamas. I don't. It's a newer one. Yertle the Turtle, Destroyed by Global Warming. Again, some of these.
The Cat in the Hat left some scat.
Some scat. The Whore on the Floor. I don't know. Some of these were just not. Some of them were a little less popular than others, or some of the older boys and girls. It's coming up on 4 o'clock already. Holy crap, it's sports. Also, speaking of sports, some news about Brett Favre will be coming up here as well. And Pete Davis has all this stuff for you and everything else. And also the kids at the border being drugged so they can't tell authorities what's happening to them. That's Carmela Side Piece's border policy. Coming up, 4 o'clock. Kevin, Pete, and Flounder. Look out.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
The U.S. government is suing Visa. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Justice Department's antitrust case accuses the financial services giant of using its size and dominance to stifle competition in the debit card market, penalizing merchants and banks who don't use Visa's own payment processing technology to process transactions.
We allege that to maintain this monopoly power, Visa deploys a web of unlawful anti-competitive agreements to penalize merchants and banks for using competing payment networks.
Attorney General Merrick Garland says the suit claims Visa's power allows fees far greater than what it could charge in a competitive market, and merchants and banks then pass costs on to consumers, affecting the price of nearly everything. Visa has previously acknowledged a Justice Department investigation and said it was cooperating. A cybersecurity executive lands on the Capitol Hill Grill at a hearing over a widespread outage.
A CrowdStrike senior vice president, Adam Myers, began with an apology for the July 19th outage that crashed systems, canceled flights, and medical procedures worldwide. He also pledged,
"We are determined to prevent this from ever happening again."
Chair of the House Homeland Security Subcommittee on Cybersecurity and Infrastructure, Andrew Garbarino of New York, said the internal outage makes one consider.
Routine update could cause this level of disruption. Just imagine what a skill-determined nation-state actor could do.
Estimates show about 8.5 million devices globally were affected by the faulty update.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Former President Trump proposing tax breaks for U.S.-based manufacturers.
The centerpiece of my plan is for a manufacturing renaissance, which will be a 15% made in America tax rate.
Rallying in Georgia today, while Vice President Harris plans an economic speech tomorrow in Pennsylvania. The Dow up 83 points at the bell, another record close. America is listening to Fox News.
If your approach to everyday aches and pains is to mask them, feel better for a few hours only to have the pain return and then repeat the cycle all over again, it's time to try Relief Factor. And the good news is Relief Factor makes that easy. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. Instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it. How? Well, its unique formula of ingredients helps support your body's response to inflammation. Relief Factor was developed by doctors. It's 100% drug-free, and for so many people, the results are game-changing, even life-changing. So give it a try. Right now, their 3-week quick start is just $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. See how in a few weeks or even days, Relief Factor can reduce your pain. When you feel better, life is just better. So don't mask pain. Fight it naturally with Relief Factor.
I know, it's all good. I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried about tomorrow. I'll do my little teeth surgery tomorrow. I'll be off tomorrow. Beating the flounder of doing the show for you, though. 403 with Bobby McFerrin. 1998. Bobby started a 2-week run at number 1 with Don't Worry, Be Happy, a first a cappella record to be number 1. Oh, wait a minute now. The first a cappella record, I hear music.
Here's a little song I wrote.
A cappella's not supposed to have music. Isn't that what that means? Wait a minute.
I speak Italian.
Be very careful, my friend. A cappella means no music. I mean, no notes, just singing, right? Voices. Although the a cappella choir is Latin for no
I think that's what he's saying. What you're hearing isn't music, it's his voice. Everything he's doing is his voice. Like the
You don't hear an organ?
That's his voice.
Don't worry.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Be happy. Don't worry.
I hear drums.
That's him.
Well, wow, I didn't know that.
Maybe it is.
Don't worry.
Well, that'd be unbelievable.
They just multi-track it, so
Are you sure? Are you just...
Yeah, no,
I'll be damned. It says the first a cappella, and so that's got to be true then. I'll be damned. Well, I'm flabbergasted. I'm amazed.
Take it back.
I will definitely. I just have. I've been humiliated and embarrassed, and I should have known better. Plus, I read the damn thing said a cappella, therefore it's a cappella, and I thought they were lying.
You know who produced this song?
Let me see if it appears. The one Grammys Record of the Year and Song of the Year. Don't Worry, Be Happy. In the movie Cocktail, I do not know who produced it. Who?
Axel Foley.
I'll be damned. Well, so what's it? Verscheen? Axel Foley?
Would like.
Again, if you haven't seen that scene where he walks into the art gallery looking for the girl that he knew back in Detroit or whatever, and Prince Sean Pinchot, whatever his face is. Anyway, pretty funny. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, how you doing? 404-741-1230. A couple of news stories are coming in just a second. First of all, I haven't done any history list in a while. I feel like I've let you down a little bit. 1929 years. Speaking of cowards, like the two people running for president in the Democrat ticket, the coward vice president won't go to Al Smith dinner, and also their coward chicken-livered, yellow-bellied governor of Minnesota, the former phony warrior, in 1929, years before he would earn the Medal of Honor for the daring raid on Japan that bore his name in World War II. Lieutenant James H. Doolittle was the first pilot to fly an all-instrument flight. It was in his consolidated NY-2 biplane over Mitchell Field in Milwaukee in 1929. The first instrument flights. How things have changed since the Wright brothers. 406-404-741-1230. Okay, hold on a second. I got two stories. One on P. Diddy, and boy, we're gonna do a lot of P. Diddy stuff here. So I hope you don't get grossed out by it. But it's getting more and more creepy. Bad creepy. First of all. Well, I got to know. Here we go. I mentioned earlier near the first hour of the show today how upset I was when President Child Molester goes to the United Nations and, among other things, makes a big point of saying how he thinks about the Gold Star. He thinks about the 13 Americans who were slaughtered in the Afghan withdrawal at Abbey Gate. He says he thinks about them every day. I say he's a dirty, stinking liar and a fraud and a traitor and a criminal and a pervert. He's not a nice man. He's a slime bag. Deserves to be in prison for the crimes of the head of the crime family alone. The 125 banking suspicious activity reports, the offshore accounts in 22 banks off season. Come on, give me a break. And now this. Thank God the Gold Star families aren't taking this crap either. They are ripping his remarks about the 13 killed in Afghanistan, for example. Biden defended the fiasco as a hard decision, but the right decision. He said those words today at the United Nations. 13 brave Americans lost their lives, along with hundreds of Afghans in a suicide bomb. I think of those lost lives. I think of them every day, he said, stumbling over his remarks as he left out a couple of words. Quote, he thinks of them only because they're the casualty of reckless decisions and policies, according to Steve Neikowi, who told the Post in a text exchange. When he says he thinks of them every day, what he really means is he despises them because they, in his eyes, have tarnished his legacy. That withdrawal, as well as the loss of lives, are the main reason why he's a one-term president. His son, Kareem, a Marine Corps Lance Corporal, was among those murdered by the suicide ISIS bomber at Abbey Gate in Kabul's Hamid Karzai International Airport. He has no idea what he's saying at this point. The speech was written by one of his staff, and they're trying to cover Joe Biden for his involvement in the critical debacle of the withdrawal from Afghanistan. His son, Marine Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover, in the bombing was killed, at least 169 Afghan civilians wounded, dozens of others. He's saying he thinks of our kids every day is a lie. He never even said their names because he doesn't know them. It was his decision to pull out of Afghanistan and do it in the manner that he did. He has blood on his hands. We will not forget ever, said the dad. Biden's put out statements to mark the anniversary of the bombing before, listing the names of the service members, but his public acknowledgement on the world stage is rare. Let's see. I'm glad that he finally mentioned them in a speech, but he's doing it on the way out, said Herman Lopez, who lost his 22-year-old son, Marine Corporal Hunter Lopez, to the bombing. It's a little too late. It's a mixed bag of emotions. And Alicia Lopez echoed her husband, saying, I'm glad he finally mentioned them, before adding it's a sad token that he's taken 3 years to do it. Earlier this month, remember, Congress posthumously awarded the highest honor, the Congressional Gold Medal, to the 13 fallen service members and honored them at a ceremony with the Gold Star families in the Capitol Rotunda. What a freaking disgrace. And let's not forget, the president's slimebag kept looking at his watch when they brought the bodies back. And then they denied it. Oh, no, that's not true. Oh, really? Let's look at the video again. I mean, these dirty, rotten slimebags. And then the Democrat Party forced him out in a coup, and their choice for vice president on the ticket is a yellow-bellied, chicken-livered coward and a phony warrior who lied about his war record when he had every right to be proud of it, but instead is so shallow of a character. This is the point of it. It's not that he didn't serve his country, because he did, and he should have been proud of his service to his country, right up until he turned his back on him like a yellow-bellied coward because they were going to war, which is, one thing. But the second thing, in lying about carrying a gun in war, that means something to people who actually did. And, for them to put him on the ticket, how could they possibly think that America would support a coward and a chicken and a yellow belly and a liar, phony warrior, deceiver whose character was so lacking that he has to make up somebody to be strong and feel that he deserves your support because he doesn't deserve it on his own and he knows it, so he had to make up somebody else's life. God. Could you vote for... He could be president. He could be president.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Will they come arrest you if you openly call for secession?
I don't know. I think you can have free speech. Calling for the overthrow of the government.
No, not overthrow the government. We need to split off from this government.
Secession. I think you can call for secession.
I'm not doing it right now, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're talking about a particular state or just like half the country or like split. Let's go ahead and split it up. Have the Democrats get, how could we divvy it up, though? We'd have to get the good stuff,
Well, we'd have to deport a lot of people.
Yeah, you have to go on first. Yeah, well, that's definitely worth thinking. Also, by the way, you're going to hear a lot of P. Diddy stuff in the news, including this story is just breaking right now. I'm looking at it here on the New York Post. P. Diddy and his former bodyguard drugged, bound, and violently raped a woman in 2001 in a vicious attack he filmed and showed to friends. Thalia Graves accuses P. Diddy and his former bodyguard of mercilessly raping her inside the Bad Boy Record studio in Manhattan. She was 25 at the time. They lured her into dating one of his employees into the studio, gave her a drink laced with a drug. She lost consciousness. You're on the there, Flounder.
Bingo.
He just getting some chick's phone number for me, not for Veronica. It's for me. He's getting a number for me. It was not getting her number. It's for I asked him to get the number. Careful. This girl lives in Texas. Never reported it out of fear he'd use his power to ruin her life. She's going public with a claim after his arrest and all these other charges. Let's see. Pleaded not guilty, forcing and prostitute, stuff like that. Let's see if there's any more. Well, I don't have any more on her story right here for the time, I guess. But anyway, and you're going to hear some more. It's coming up on 413, and you're going to be hearing two guys, one of them from prison, talking about what actually was going on with P. Diddy, and you're going to also hear from a well-known comedian who says maybe people can explain why he may not come out of there alive. I mean, there's a lot. It's all coming up next. Cameron, Pete, and Flounder, 413, 106.3.
Time for the Bortz Report. Brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast's premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
I'm sure you've heard by now of the mass shooting that happened in Birmingham, Alabama a few days ago. I don't know, 20-some people hurt, 4 people killed. One thing the media has not told you is that the shooters were black. Uh-oh. Racism. Don't use that word around me. It means nothing. And the shooters were using handguns that had been modified into automatic mode, illegally modified. Pull the trigger and it keeps firing until you release the trigger. They say over 100 rounds were fired in just a few seconds. Now we're being told that there was one person at this gathering that was being targeted. One person. But the shooters thought it just fine to spray bullets everywhere, killing 4, injuring, 20? And why was that just fine? Because it is part of their culture. I'm sorry, folks. Own it, understand it, learn it. The urban black culture is a culture of violence, predatory violence. And finally, somebody said it. Not just me, the old white guy, somebody said it. His name is Randall Woodfin. He is the mayor of Birmingham. And here is his quote from yesterday, I believe, about the shooting. The first thing people go for when they're upset is a gun. Then he capped it off with this, and that is their culture. Go ahead, call the black mayor of Birmingham a racist because he mentions the culture of violence. You all know it's there. You all know it's costing a lot of lives. Nobody wants to address it. It's the gun's fault. But not according to Randall Woodfin, a great mayor, Birmingham, Alabama. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey, it's Tug. Fall is here, and winter's right around the corner. Now's the time to start thinking about upgrading your home's windows and doors with Southern Exteriors. Whether you're looking for energy-efficient windows, elegant entry doors, or durable patio doors, we've got the perfect fit for your home. Plus, you can take advantage of 0% interest with no payments for up to 6 months. Call Southern Exteriors today, 877-9-SOUTHERN, or visit southernexteriors.co. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Hey, it's front office Lowe's for Echo and Howard Brothers. It's football season, and your yard deserves the best team on the field. Echo Power Equipment, available at Howard Brothers. Make your yard the MVP with Echo, the choice of pros and homeowners alike. Whether it's leaves, branches, or the lawn, Echo's got the tools to tackle any job. And at Howard Brothers, they've got the lineup that's ready to play. Stop by your local Howard Brothers today and fuel your football season on and off the field. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Echo and with Howard Brothers.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever. Overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
Thanksgiving is just around the corner. Always wanted to smoke a turkey but weren't sure how? We can teach you at Southern Thunder Barbecue School. Our October class will cover all the traditional barbecue meats: brisket, pulled pork, ribs, chicken, and pork loin. And as a bonus, you'll learn smoked turkey with gravy so you can wow your guests for Thanksgiving dinner. Learning to cook the perfect barbecue is not a topic learned from a book. It takes hands-on instruction, the kind you get at Southern Thunder Barbecue School. Our classes are designed and taught by Grand Championship pros with real-life experience, competing, instructing, and catering barbecue events. A day-long class at Southern Thunder Barbecue School makes a fantastic gift. So do your loved ones a favor and tell them what you really want is the Barbecue with the Pros class, available now at SouthernThunderBBQ.com. That's SouthernThunderBBQ.com.
How you are doing today?
Hi.
I'm fine. My name is Serge, and how can I help you?
Yeah, I'm looking for Miss Jenny Summers.
She's very busy today. Maybe you give me your name?
My name's Axel Foley.
And what it's pertaining?
Pertaining. I didn't understand what you said.
Pertaining, what it's meaning, regarding.
Oh, what's it regarding? I'm an old acquaintance of hers.
Danae? One moment. Don't run and tell me, Summers, that Mr. Ahmed Foley is here to see.
Axel Foley. Axel.
Axel. Foley is here to see her. These are all the acquaintances. Donnie, cover this up. It's
I'm
like
sorry.
the breast of
sorry.
a dog to scrub his customer.
Look at the guy's open shirt.
Hamburger meat.
Now, I feel something to drink, wine, a cocktail, espresso.
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
I'll make it myself right back there with a little lemon twist. It's good. You should try it.
No, I'm fine.
I see, look at this piece.
Yeah, I was wondering how much something like this went for.
$130,000. Get the out of here. I cannot. It's serious because it's very important piece.
Have you ever sold one of these?
Sold it yesterday to a collector. Get the out of here. Serious, I said it myself.
Like some Ovaltine.
I make it myself in the back. Thank you, Flounder. Well done. Oh, man. And by the way, everybody in that movie, it was a great role. I mean, the cops and everybody, it was just really well done. Anyway, that was Axel Foley. James Brown here. In 1998, it was on this day that Mr. Brown got arrested after an hour-long two-state car chase starting in Augusta. He was arrested, served 6 years. Actually, that's not quite true. He was sentenced to 6 years for a variety of charges, including carrying a deadly weapon in a public gathering, attempting to flee police, driving under the influence of drugs, and beating up his wife. James Brown served 3 years and got out for good behavior.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
While they were chasing him, he leaned a shotgun out and started firing.
Yeah, I heard that. It didn't say that in here, but I've heard that story that he wasn't giving up without a fight. Good Lord, he's lucky to be alive. I mean, you can't do that. Anyway, I've got one more birthday left until sports birthdays later. Nia Vardalos, 62, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I didn't see. I know the movie. I didn't see it, but anyway, if you know that movie, Nia Vardalos or whatever his name now. And on this day in history, Let's see, 2005, Demi Moore, and I guess it's Demi Moore, used to be Demi Moore, and Ashton Kutcher were secretly married in 2005. They split up in 2011, divorced, finalized 2 years later, so I guess she found somebody better. And that was 2005 when they got secretly married. Let's see. And by the way, a 4 o'clock hour sponsored by our friends at Atlanta Safe House, home of the Kimmer Safes. It's true, you need a safe, silly rabbit. Don't be like the Kimmer and lose your medical records. And now, your kids need to know where to find your living will and your stuff and your dental records and your financial records and all that stuff. Pistol safes, gun safes, they got everything up there. AtlantaSafehouse.com on the web, and they have a showroom in Ackworth. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. 422, pardon me. Oh, just for the record, just in, Oregon has registered more than 1,200 non-citizens to vote. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they thought there was only a few. It turns out to be well over 1,000 have been sent ballots, and now they're saying, oops-a-daisy, we got to fix that system. But again, there's no, our election system's fine. It's not broken or anything. Everything's going to be fine now. And by the way, they're already voting. States are voting now already.
Yeah.
Well, and they said, by the way, I saw one story just a while ago said this is good news for Republicans because they're going out in droves. And I don't know how you can tell that or what difference it makes, but that, maybe good.
She is going to cost thousands of people jobs in Pennsylvania when she shuts down fracking, and that's what she's going to do. She's going to shut it down. And if those idiots vote for her, they deserve what they get.
That's right. And again, she's not going to do it by saying no more fracking. She's going to say, here are the new rules for fracking. No noise, no water, no upsetting the neighbors. Oh, damn, golly, I guess you can't do it after all then, can you?
No permits.
Yeah, no permits. Have a 4 years, display of investigation before you get a permit. I mean, that's what they're going to do. That's what they always do. And she can lie. It's the same way she said she'd lie. Well, I said I was in favor of fracking in the 2020 election campaign. No, she wasn't in favor of it. What she said was Joe Biden will not stop fracking. That's what she said. She said Joe Biden will not stop fracking. She never gave her opinion because they know her opinion was she was against fracking. Anyway, so, just freaking phony. All right, 424. Flounder, let's do cut number 4. This is kind of creepy, the whole thing about this P. Diddy business, but it's out there, so we're going to pass it along. You know who Eddie Griffin is, the comedian? He's that little guy, right? The shorter black guy, pretty funny guy. Was he in the one with...
Not to be confused with Peter Griffin.
No, Peter Griffin from, the cartoon show. Was he the one in the movie with Steve Carell played the Virgin? And the
40-year-old virgin?
Yeah. It was, I don't know. Well, Eddie Griffin is a well-known comedian. I don't remember what he's in. But anyway, he believes that P. Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs, is a dead man who won't leave prison alive. Eddie Griffin was talking on his YouTube channel, and he said it's kind of like Jeffrey Epstein, the financier pedophile, died in jail awaiting a federal sex trafficking trial. Basically the same kind of situation, Metropolitan Detention Center. Cut number 4, Flounder, comedian Eddie Griffin talking about this.
Here is my prediction. I predicted that he was going to jail before they took him. But anyway, he ain't going to live. I'd be surprised if he lived past the end of September, because he is a dead man walking. Every record label, motherfucking executive, and the motherfuckers Black Rock or whatever the corporation that is, they got money offering. First motherfucker that killed their son just $100 million to your favorite family member's bank account, offshore, overseas, untraceable, 6 banks, that way. This ain't gonna make it. And it's gonna be the end of the story, because we are waiting on the other names involved. You ain't gonna hear them. Guarantee you ain't gonna hear them. Yeah, them feds, they gonna take that money and run. There's case closed, Diddy's dead.
Well, pretty strong, but here's... I'm not sure whether we're going to be able to understand this next soundbite here, but we'll play part of it and just to show you that it's real. The former record producer, executive, and convicted felon Suge Knight believes that the impending divorce between Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck is the result directly of Jennifer Lopez's appearance in tapes that the FBI seized in the raid on Diddy Combs' homes. In his new prison podcast, again, Suge Knight's in prison, his new prison podcast, Collect Calls with Suge Knight. He claims the FBI may have confiscated tapes from the raids on P. Diddy's mansions this year, and some of those include Lopez. Flounder, this is cut number 3. Let's start playing it. It's kind of hard. And now, it may just be my ears. So it's kind of hard for me to understand what he's saying. But let's play this just to show you that it is real. Suge Knight from prison talking about what may be the real reason why Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are bidding a split up. Number 3, sir.
And they go raid Puffy's house, and they get all these videos of J-Lo doing this and J-Lo doing that. And they know the fact that J-Lo lied and said that the gun was signed or whatever, and said that man just prison restored his life, and she knew it was Puffy. I'm quite sure they probably called and the FBI gave respect. A courtesy call of Ben Affleck. It's a white man who got respect in the white world. I'm quite sure they said, we want to show you some things. It's about your wife. When he sees that her and Puffy was doing and who they were doing it with, I'm quite sure they gave his ass those tapes. And I'm quite sure he can never look at her the same. I'm quite sure they heading for divorce. Because, that's a man who had a good life. Great parents, don't spend a lot of money, ain't tripping out paparazzi. He's living his life. He got his own team. She done brought all the extra that motherfucker. He won't out. He stayed married to J-Lo, he'd be broke. Instead of just doing movies, he'd be doing Yum Yum Donuts commercials. Next thing he'd be doing is Jack in the Box commercials.
Oh, all righty. Well, that's Suge Knight. If you understood part of that, he says they're headed for divorce. He's a man who had a good life, and then she's kind of messed it up. They started dating in 2002, Ben Affleck and J-Lo, in the movie Jiggly, I forgot the name. They got planned to get married in 2003, called it off, broke up in 2004, and then did get married, had kids with other people, and got reunited, got married in 2022, and now they're hitting a rough patch, it says. Some reaction, Jennifer Lopez was literally caught with a smoking gun in her hand and gunpowder all over her fingers. Remember that night when she was at the club with Diddy? She would have spoken up back then. She could have saved a lot of people from getting abused. Dame Dash, Aliyah, Jennifer Lopez, Jay-Z, the Diddy, all sharing a giant bed. It's getting dark out there. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with this. The whole thing is just creepy. And he faces life in prison. If half of the stuff is true that he's convicted of, he'll never get out. Holy smokes. All right, coming up on 4:30 already. We have Pete's Tweets coming up, and we have more Flounders Funnies, and also the border policy, what they're doing with little children. Holy smokes. And a win for free speech against the leftists in college campuses. That's coming up. And also another... kind of a cheesy romantic fling story coming up with Keith Olbermann and that New York magazine, New Yorker, whatever writer chick, coming up next. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 4:30. Look, there we go.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
You know the old expression, I love it when a plan comes together? Well, with our First Liberty Notes, this has been so true. Hello, I'm Brant Frost, founder of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about our family's company all the time right here on the station. For over 30 years, we've been the local lender who said yes when the big banks say no. A couple of months ago, we opened up our First Liberty Notes program to Main Street investors just like you, and the response has been just incredible. Folks from airline pilots to physicians to even pastors are now earning 8 to 13% interest rates while helping to fuel the growth of local small businesses. If you're a qualified investor with a minimum of $25,000, you too could be earning 8 to 13% interest. We'd love to have you join our First Liberty family today. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and see if our First Liberty notes are right for you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. SEC accredited investor status must be verified. Securities not offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Are you the type of consumer that likes to do your research before you choose a company? Well, then you need to join Dan Watkins, Chris Lolamy, and myself, Jim Niarchos, every Saturday morning at 9 for the All Four Seasons Home Show. We only vet local businesses with a proven history of integrity, competence, and solid customer service. The All Four Seasons Home Show helps you make a good consumer decision, save money, and not get ripped off. You can also follow our podcasts on Apple, Google, and Spotify. The All Four Seasons Home Show, Saturday mornings at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
You know Diamonds Direct for their exquisite diamonds and fine jewelry. What about luxury watches? With a handpicked collection by the industry's top timepiece experts, skip the waiting list and get the timepiece you've been eyeing right away. And this month only, enjoy 0% interest for 5 years on all the top brands. Imagine owning a $15,000 luxury watch for just $250 a month. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct, where you can shop direct for diamonds and watches.
Hey, Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. You've heard me talk about fake safes, and while that's a really bad way to secure your valuables, you want to hear something that's even worse? Kamala Harris is president. Wow, let that sink in. That'll make you want to throw up. Well, there is good news. The Safe House has the largest selection of safes in the Southeast and some of the best pricing and rebates on safes this entire year. Secure your valuables in a quality safe from the Safe House. Drop by our showroom today or go to AtlantaSafehouse.com. That's AtlantaSafehouse.com.
Life takes a toll on all of our bodies. It's inevitable and part of growing older. Whether it's sitting for hours at our computers or working a physical job, our bodies pay the price. It's hard to accept, but at some point, the pain gives us no choice. Now, we can't turn Father Time back, but there is an effective way to turn back the clock on pain, and that is Relief Factor. It was developed by doctors, and Relief Factor helps support your body's response to inflammation. And the difference, instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it for good, and it's 100% drug-free. If the pain that comes with living a full life is affecting you, do what I've done. Turn back the clock on pain with Relief Factor. Their 3-week quick start is $19.95, less than $1 a day. And when you feel good, it's amazing how much more you can get out of life. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF. 800-4-RELIEF. Try it for $19.95. While we can't stop aging, not yet, we can stop pain with Relief Factor.
You almost caught me having a Kimmer reminiscing moment. Mercy.
Listen, boy, I don't want to see you let a good thing slip away.
Mr. Billy Joel, the piano man. 1983, Billy went to #1 on the singles chart with Tell Her About It, the former boxer's second #1 hit, #4 in Britain. Billy Joel, the boxer. I like his stuff. Piano man, talented guy. Oh, he let Christy Brinkley. Well, I guess she found somebody better. Let's see, 435. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? On this day in history, it was 1789. The first Supreme Court was established. Had 6 justices nominated by George Washington. 1789. It wasn't until 80 years later, 1869, that Congress set the number of justices at 9, which we still have. And again, Vice President bump and grind. If she wins the presidency, she is going to end the filibuster. She is going to pack the court with 15 or 19 members, with all liberals. She's going to have Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. become states, which would be 4 more Democratic senators, and they will never lose another election. That's just the beginning of the things that are going to happen if they win. And it all started in 1789.
That combined, if Trump loses, the Republican Party will lose a lot of the MAGA supporters, which means they'll be weaker going into the next elections, and they may be a minority party for the rest of our lives.
Well, we'd give up. I think people like me would say, well, why bother? I mean, seriously. Unless you literally haven't, take to the streets, there's nothing you can do if you're so overwhelmed that you're saying, well, there's no hope. I mean, seriously, if it got to that point.
Secession.
Yeah. Seriously. 437, I don't know what's going on. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Again, I'll be off tomorrow. I'm going to get my tooth out tomorrow. They're going to, Dr. Dina at the Atlanta Smiles. No, so you guys will be doing the show. And I guess this hurricane danger for Georgia, it still may be rainy and flooding.
Thursday, they're saying.
Thursday could be bad? Okay. Well, so that's why I called the dentist earlier, because we thought Thursday might be bad, and I didn't want you to have to come down. If I was going to get off Thursday, that you'd be screwed on that. So that's why we're doing it a day early. I was going to do
Pardon
it. I was going to do it Thursday, but now we're going to do it tomorrow to avoid bad weather for
and Friday. Thursday and Friday are supposed to a lot of rain, maybe some wind.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, just to make you aware. Speaking of Vice President side piece and her horrible job as border czar. Children as young as 8 years old are being trafficked into America by smugglers posing as their parents, and the smugglers are drugging the children so that they're so sound asleep when they're caught they can't testify or say anything that's going on that's happening to them. I'm not making this up. Border Patrol officials are saying a few years ago they were coming in en masse. We had to let family units in. People kept coming in, and after a while, we noticed that the kids were the same, but the parents were getting different. They were recycling the children. I hate thinking about it because there were thousands of kids, and who knows where the hell they are and where they ended up. The children, once they're smuggled into the country, many are vulnerable to being exploited for child labor, child sex trafficking. Border agents, as an example, rescued a child at the California border who had been heavily dosed with sleep aids to prevent him from talking to authorities. These agents found the traffickers had birth certificates for more children. Several officers manning ports in San Luis, Arizona, caught Marlon Contreras Lopez, a 28-year-old American Arizona resident, with 2 young children in her car who had been drugged with sleep aids. When she got out of the car for inspection and investigation, the officers couldn't wake up the kids, and one of them barely could walk. Under the Harris-Biden administration, the number of children crossing illegal into this country without their relatives has skyrocketed. This is according to the people who are working the border. Thousands of those children have gone unaccounted for. Remember, we told you yesterday, and as of May this year, as of just this last May, 300,000 unaccompanied migrant children were released to sponsors but never told to appear because we don't know where they are. They're gone. We don't know where they are. And that's just the ones we know that we don't know where they are. That's the border policy. Yes or no question. Are you proud of your border policy? someone's got to get her to a podium for a news conference, an old-fashioned news conference. Honestly, that you'd nail her. She would collapse. She'd start crying. Seriously, can you imagine somebody like Sam Donaldson or Mike Wallace or Tucker Carlson even? My God, anybody.
I don't understand why they don't do with her what they do with Biden. He got up there and they gave him a list of who to call.
Yeah, I know. Even that. Someone would turn on her and try to be a hero or, change the tide. Or, well, maybe not. But again, you're right. I can't believe it. No president ever has avoided the media running for president. How can you possibly avoid taking questions from the press if you're running for president? Seriously.
We'll learn 2 things. We'll learn that your vote doesn't count in the primaries, that they're going to install whoever they want, and the media the mainstream media no longer matters.
Yeah, that's correct. That's exactly what it means. It doesn't matter. We have no voice. We have no voice, and we have no voice in there. We have no ears to hear us.
Well, and here's the problem. Free speech is like a pressure cooker and the valves on the pressure cooker. If you start shutting off all the places that the valves are with the free speech, shutting down free speech, the radio stations, the TV, the media, everything, guess what happens?
Yeah, well, that's why we have the other amendment, like the second one, so we can keep our guns. I mean, seriously, that's what they do when they shut you up and then try to get your guns, and they'll never get to stage 2. But again, this is exactly what they've been doing. 441. Here's kind of a related thing. It's sort of interesting. By the way, should we do Pete's tweets here in a second? Let me do this one story, and then we'll do Pete's tweets here in a second, Flounder, if you would, sir. And I know Pete's always ready. The Boise State University now owes a local coffee shop near the university $4 million because Boise State University violated the woman's First Amendment rights in a conflict over her support of police. Big City Coffee owner Sarah Fendley lost business and a reputation, mental and emotional distress, personal humiliation in a decision reached by jurors awarding her $1 million in punitive damages and $3 million. Oops, Daisy, was that my phone? Oh my goodness, that is very, very loud. I thought I turned it down. I'm sorry, guys. I just turned it off here, but now I'll turn it down. But the Boise State University, the city opened her on-campus location a couple years ago on the heels of the nationwide support for George Floyd in Minneapolis. So this girl has a campus coffee shop, and the school, she put a thin blue line sticker near the door. That's all she did in Boise, Idaho. She put a thin blue line sticker near the door. All of a sudden, the students went nuts. I hope you all don't go there if you truly support your peers and other students, staff, and faculty. They tried to shut her down. She was engaged to a former Boise police officer at the time who was paralyzed in a gunfight with a fugitive. Administrators at the university called a meeting worried the social media posts would violate firestorm on campus. So they secretly recorded meetings and found out that they were about to shut her down because she supported the police. So she sued, and she just won $4 million because they tried to shut her down for supporting the police. Good God. But again, who didn't know that was going to happen? Again, George Floyd, the hero for the Democrat Party, and university administrators and schools. Statues for the man.
Saint Floyd.
Good Lord. Seriously. Oh, goodness. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. What's the matter?
Oh, your ADHD is kicking in.
What'd I do?
What'd you say 2 minutes ago?
Is it probably the same thing? Time?
You're going to do one story.
Oh, God. That's right. I got it right here in front of me. I'm sorry. I'm so bad. 444. Well, I'm thinking about tomorrow and my story about Mimi. I'm thinking about my old college girl. I think I kissed her once. Anyway, Pete's tweets right here.
With a storm a-coming, I thought it'd be prudent to say this.
Yes, sir.
Weather people always give the wind velocity in miles per hour, but now a more relatable way to tell how much is blowing outside.
Okay.
It's called the trash can wind meter. It starts at the lid is flipped open, then the bin is tipped over, then your can is in your neighbor's yard, then it's 2 down the street, and finally, I've lost my trash can.
I can't find That's true.
Mike, the engineer, says, based on the yard signs he's seeing, Kamala will finish third behind Donald Trump in garage sale.
I hope.
The CEO of the Edinburgh, Scotland Rape Crisis Center is stepping down. His name, that's right, his name is Myrtle Wadwa, and he's a mentally ill man masquerading as a woman, and the liberal idiots in charge put him in charge of a center that's supposed to help female victims of rape stay away from men. Instead, the tranny freak used his position to insert other men pretending to be women, and worse, pretending to be raped women, into the center alongside the actual raped women. When the victims dared to question Mr. Wadwa, he called them bigots and said, quote, they need to reframe their trauma, end quote.
You know, this is getting out of hand, man. This is getting out of hand.
He is no longer the CEO of the Edinburgh Rape Crisis Center, even though they're still defending putting him in there. The women
That's the thing.
have to change their mind.
They didn't say they did anything wrong. They think they did everything right. It's just a shame that all you freaking bigots are upset by it. This is unbelievable. This is a country feeling this way. Scotland?
And the women afraid of being raped again. And finally, a woman tweets, there's nothing more satisfying than being prettier than your ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend. to which the man replies, the fact that he's not going for just looks anymore means you taught him a valuable lesson.
Ouch. 446, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. Look out, here we go.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Kamala Harris sees an end to right to work. No private sector worker will be allowed to avoid union membership and union dues if that's what the majority of his co-workers want.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
This fall, the gridiron calls, which means you'll be road tripping to games across the South, and you'll need a reliable ride to get you there. And Subaru of Gwinnett has the vehicle for you. But a new car, truck, or SUV from Subaru of Gwinnett is about way more than just getting to the games. It's about getting the family home. It's about getting to work safely, but it's also about getting the most out of every adventure. If you're driven by an adventurous heart, the 2025 Subaru Outback shares your spirit with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 32 miles per gallon. Or maybe it's the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. It holds the road with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, and it holds everything you need for the tailgate. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com and let your adventurous mind run wild. Then stop in for a test drive on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth.
Escape from the city into an outdoor sanctuary offering 36 holes of championship golf at Stone Mountain Golf Club. Located inside Georgia's most visited attraction, Stone Mountain Golf Club offers golfers of all skill levels 2 unforgettable golf courses. Stonemont, designed by Robert Trent Jones Sr., will test every club in your bag and offers an official U.S. Kids Golf Family course. Lakemont features stunning vistas of Stone Mountain while winding around the lake, providing an unforgettable golf experience. With resort accommodations at the Atlanta Evergreen Lakeside Resort, our stay and play package offers a perfect getaway for buddies groups, couples, and families. Our full-service restaurants offer delicious food and beverages and is open 7 days a week to serve you. Our PGA professional staff would be delighted to help plan your next company or charity tournament and provide an exceptional experience for your organization. Plan your escape to Stone Mountain Golf Club by visiting StoneMountainGolfClub.com for more information.
My fellow Americans, our yards are in troubled times. Unwanted weeds are crossing fence lines across our great nation, and we need to put a stop to it. No more college football Saturdays spent mowing the lawn. No, sir. Let's turf it with ultra-premium artificial grass from ATL Turf Co. They're Atlanta and North Georgia's first choice for premium turf solutions, from incredible lawns to custom putting greens. Let's make your yard great again with a free consultation at atlturfco.com. Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Oh, hey, Bobby. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm having deck problems.
You're having deck problems?
Hey, keep it down. It's embarrassing.
Look, there's plenty of guys in the neighborhood with deck problems. What's the matter with yours?
Well, it's small and old compared to yours.
All right, let's not make this a deck measuring competition. You just need to call Excavations. They've seen decks of all sizes, shapes, and colors. Good news is Excavations can build you a sweet new deck that you'll love to show off to your friends and neighbors. Don't worry, Jimmy. We're going to get you some big deck energy.
Hi, this is Candace with Excavations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't feel ashamed of your deck. Excavations can build an outdoor living space that you'll be proud of. And with our Exavision, we'll be able to show you your home's transformation before you even begin the work. Keep the HOA off your deck and give us a call today for decks, windows, siding, roofing, and more. Or visit us at exovations.com to get inspired.
Millions
of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911. Online at stopmyed.com.
Oh boy, George. See what I did there. 451. Culture Club, baby. Ba-dun-dun. 1983, Culture Club, their second #1 single with Chameleon, stayed at the top for 6 weeks. Was the best-selling single of 1983. The harmonica part was played not by me, no. It was played by Judd Lander, who was a member of the Mercy Beat group, the Hideaways, in the 1960s. Culture Club, 1983. Holy smokes. And a little TV premiere history. This, of course, the same time of year is when the new TV shows come out, and there's a bunch of them. I haven't watched any of them, and I probably won't. But, you know, I mean, they just don't, nothing, the description of all of them just doesn't attract me. It's, it's beautiful people with great hair and they're solving crimes or something. It's just, I don't know. Anyway, earlier history of some of you older folks might enjoy this. 1961, on this day, the premiere of The Bullwinkle Show on ABC in prime time.
Hey, rookie.
Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. Ooh, wrong hat.
That trick
Golly, Bullwinkle. Stay tuned next time.
You really like.
Oh, golly, Mr. Peabody. My boy Sherman.
From the Wayback Machine.
Oh, man. It was nothing better, I swear to God. It used to be
the best.
Rocky and Friends was a daytime version, but at night it was The Bullwinkle Show, 1961 premiere. Same day, 1968, The Mod Squad, Peggy Lipton and Michael Cole. 1968, 60 Minutes, Mike Wallace and Harry Reasoner.
Wait a minute here.
What?
White man.
Yeah, what?
You just left out the black man on Mod Squad.
Well, hold on now. I don't. Well, now wait a minute.
Well, was that George Stanford Brown? What was his name?
Was he on Mod Squad?
He played Link.
Link. That's the guy. That's the guy. 60 Minutes had Mike Wallace and Harry Reasoner. Later, Morley Safer, what was it? The black guy, Ed. Oh, God, I hate when I do this. Ed something, the black guy with a beard, and Andy Rooney, of course, in a minute. That was in 1968, 60 Minutes. 1977, this day, The Love Boat, song by Jack Jones, written by Paul Williams, had Fred Grandy. Wasn't he the Congressman Fred Grandy? Gavin McLeod, Bernie Kopel, Ted Lang, Jill Whelan. Remember those guys? The last episode of I Love Lucy with Desi and ran for 10 years. Last one in 1961. I was more a fan of the Honeymooners. I didn't really watch I Love Lucy, but I love.
I got my black policeman actors mixed up. George Stanford Brown was in The Rookies.
That's
Clarence Williams III was in the Mod Squad.
I remember Clarence Williams III now. He had the kind of semi-afro working thing. Yeah, he had the good hair thing going. 454. We got we'll do a Flounders Fun here in a second. First of all, now you're not a big fan of Keith Olbermann, a former MSNBC guy, a former sports guy. He's kind of just a goof. He's real flamboyant, and he's certainly a personality, but he's half nuts.
He's nuts.
Yeah, I think he's half crazy. Well, now he's come out admitting that he had had an affair with this chick, too. The girl from the New York Magazine, what's her name, Nunzi, Olivia Nuzzi, and she was one who had the Robert F. Kennedy Jr. thing going on with her. Well, now Keith Olbermann says, yeah, we didn't do much to keep it quiet. At the time, he was 55, she was 21. He assumed nobody cared. It was no big deal. It was really nice, and he said it was a nice thing, and God help me, it was very wholesome. She was with him when he adopted his first dog, a cause he now regularly promotes on Twitter. She was with me when I got my first dog. For that, I'll always be grateful to her. We had dogs, tattoos, and rings, all the relationships very nice at the start. Then things happened, worked on it, and it ended. One day I said, I think we've exhausted this. I changed my mind. Then the next day she left, so I guess it makes it a tie. Anyway, he said, we did weird things during the 3.5 years this lasted. The former SBN star said he didn't know anything about her then or now, suggesting she would send nude pictures to a guy unless he wanted them, which is the issue of the RFK Jr. may sue her.
You can't believe anything Olbermann says.
I know. He said all the work he's done with animals is down to her because of her, and he'll always have be supporting her if she needs it. But I don't want to go out on a limb here, beginning she suspects to like old guys. Anyway.
Okay. If you're 55, you're dating a 21-year-old, good for you.
Yeah.
But if you're stupid enough to get tattoos.
Yeah, tattoos and rings. Yeah. By the way, Olbermann has never been married. He dated Senator Kyrsten Sinema, Fox News host Laura Ingraham, and MSNBC star Katie Tur, among others. Wow. Anyway, 456. I'm a little Flounders funny there if you feel like, what do you got there, sir? What's you got?
The latest thing that's driving me nuts is I spent 20 years in the back of the plane getting treated like an animal. And I finally worked my way up to the front of the plane, Group 1, which means you get to board like it's your plane.
You get to board?
Yes. You sit in a chair that's the size for a human being. There's a place for your bag.
Yep.
Right? You get a little hot towel and all. And then the second I get that, all of a sudden now, there's like these 20 groups that are like pre-boarding now. Like half the plane qualifies and they're getting on. And I just sit there just like losing my... It starts off like it's just like anybody in uniform, anybody in the military. So it's like, all right. But after like the 20th guy, you just start being like, have you seen action? Anybody with kids, anybody with disabilities, and then just anybody with a red shirt. Hey, it's Tony Tuesday. Anthony can get on. Dude, I sat one time, I saw this guy get on the plane. Okay, he wasn't in uniform. He didn't have kids. He had all his limbs. He wasn't limping. He didn't have a cough. He just walked on the plane. It's like, who the is that?
Bill Burr. And again, he's just a funny guy. There's no way he scripted that. There's no way he wrote that down on a typewriter and said, I'll do this later. I mean, it's just he's a funny guy. And,
he went on, this was probably a month or so ago, but he went on Bill Maher's After Hours show, where they sit and they smoke and stuff like that.
I'll bet.
And he just ripped Maher a new one. After every comment, he was just like, oh, whatever. I mean, he just called him out on a lot of stuff.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. I wish you would do more of him. The more you, frankly. I
got a bunch of him in the can, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well, you'll never go wrong playing
Flounder.
Bill Burr.
Let's do a whole hour tomorrow. Bill Burr.
Bill Burr, absolutely.
What a great idea.
I'll find some new ones, and we'll do each comedy bit will be Bill Burr.
Do half the show Bill Burr comment, and then the other half will do punchlines. And I'll be listening at home in a drunken stupor, hopefully. I've been drugged out the situation. Anyway, 4:59. Oh, did you hear about the teenage girl who took a test in Arizona in her family's car, and then she was told to come back to the DMV the next day to finalize things? She learned that she failed because her driver's examiner said she was using her parents' full self-driving feature on their Tesla. And the guy says, we don't know if she knows how to brake, because the brakes, when you slow down, the brake starts working automatically. So the guy said, we don't know whether she was working the brake pedal or the car was. There's too many automatic things in the braking of the Teslas. Regenerative braking, a common feature in a lot of EVs, slows the car down. And so they say, we don't know whether she knows what she's doing or not. And so now they eventually gave her the license, but they said, we're going to have to change a few things because we don't know whether she's doing this or not. The car's doing it. Here we go. I mean, just life is different, man. Almost 5 o'clock. Holy crap and sports coming up, too. And a lot of that standing by, too. Give her Pete Flounder. Look out. Big Mets game tonight, too, my friends.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
2 days left for storm prep. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. As new tropical storm Helene churns through the Caribbean, expected to pass between Cuba and Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula tonight and then intensify over warm Gulf waters.
Florida's going to get hit hard. Our friends to the west in Alabama are going to receive a lot of damage. And this thing's going to continue north into Tennessee.
Chris Stallings is the emergency management director in Georgia, now under a state of emergency along with most Florida counties. Helene could make landfall in Florida's Big Bend region Thursday as a major hurricane. Visa is being sued by the Justice Department, accused of costing consumers money by punishing merchants and banks who don't use Visa's technology to process debit card transactions.
We allege Visa is a monopolist in the debit transaction markets that is violating federal antitrust law and inflicting often hidden but significant harm on American consumers and businesses.
Attorney General Merrick Garland says the company leverages the large number of transactions on its network to impose commitments that make it difficult for merchants to use alternatives. Visa's general counsel says there's an ever-expanding universe of companies offering new ways to pay for goods and services, calling the lawsuit meritless. The maker of popular diabetes and weight loss drugs, Ozempic and Wegovy, on the defense at a Senate hearing on prices much higher than in other countries. Vermont Independent Senator Bernie Sanders accusing Novo Nordisk of ripping off Americans.
If you don't act, 40,000 people a year could die. Is this acceptable to you?
Senator, any prospects of patients not getting access to the medicine they need, I think is terrifying.
But CEO Lars Jorgensen says they don't control what patients pay. Republican Senator Bill Cassidy says there's a struggle for balance between incentivizing innovation and being able to afford it. America is listening to Fox News.
If your approach to everyday aches and pains is to mask them, feel better for a few hours only to have the pain return and then repeat the cycle all over again, it's time to try Relief Factor. And the good news is Relief Factor makes that easy. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. Instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it. How? Well, its unique formula of ingredients helps support your body's response to inflammation. Relief Factor was developed by doctors. It's 100% drug-free, and for so many people, the results are game-changing, even life-changing. So give it a try. Right now, their 3-week quick start is just $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. See how in a few weeks or even days, Relief Factor can reduce your pain. When you feel better, life is just better. So don't mask pain. Fight it naturally with Relief Factor.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of blank. Ready on your dog target. First one to the rear. Road guards out. Look out. It's only me. It's only the giver. Stand by 503 with Pete Davis and Flounder at the controls on your Tuesday. I'll be off tomorrow getting that tooth business taken care of with Dr. Dina and the Atlanta Smiles ladies of the medical field of beauties. And so the boys will be here tomorrow taking care of everything. And our number 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Holy Crap at Sports is coming up, and this is first of the 3 games with the Mets. Pete Davis, I understand, is that correct? First game tonight?
That is correct,
and
sir.
if they win all 3, again, well, the sport's coming up, but if they win all 3, that probably should put us in the playoffs, wouldn't it?
They'll put them a game ahead of the Mets, who, by the way, the Mets have the second wild card position right now. We're going for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
They have a game and a half on us right now.
Yeah. But if we win all 3, That's got
to. Then you still got 3 against the Royals, so you got to win them too.
Wow. Anyway, this is going to be, well, I mean, it's exciting. And again, we'll see.
And we got breaking news, bad news for the Braves and the Falcons.
No.
Coming up in sports.
Coming up about 10 minutes or so don't go anywhere. 404-741-1230, 741-1230 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. All right, Donald Trump was in Savannah today. He may still be there. He was giving a speech talking about making America rich again and doing all the things. Hasn't been a lot of news coverage about him. Again, that's not surprising. In a minute, you're going to hear some of the Democrat news coverage of how they're trying to cover for Vice President bump and grind, and it's not working very well. First of all, kind of one of the breaking stories of the day was that President Child Molester Biden shows up at the United Nations giving a speech on international affairs like he knows anything about what he's talking about. And he said things that make me absolutely go freaking crazy every time he does this. And I got to find my story here because here we go. Among other things, at the United Nations today, President Stupidface actually said this, talking about the withdrawal from Afghanistan and the 13 Americans who were slaughtered in the suicide bombing. President Child Molester said this: 13 brave Americans lost their lives, along with hundreds of Afghans in a suicide bomb. I think those lost lives, I think them every day, stumbling over his script. And then he said, proceeding with the Afghan 2021 fiasco, he called it a hard decision, but the right decision. The Afghan withdrawal electioneer issue, Republicans accusing him of stonewalling inquiries into it. In fact, they're trying to get taking a vote on holding Blinken in contempt of Congress for skipping out in his subpoena to testify about that. And he said, this summer I faced a decision whether to seek a second term. Oh, this is the other thing that kills me. And you're going to hear a reaction about the Gold Star families, by the way. Here's the second thing. This almost made me want to throw up. Quote, this summer, I faced a decision whether to seek a second term as president. It was a difficult decision. Being president has been the honor of my life. There's so much more I want to get done. As much as I love the job, I love my country more. I decided after 50 years of public service, it's time for a new generation of leadership to take my nation forward. My fellow leaders, let us never forget, some things are more important than staying in power. You dirty, rotten, snaky, grease spot slime bag. They cooed him out. It was a coup. They threatened him with the 25th Amendment. Carmella and Puttitat together said, okay, we'll get the girl in there. He's got to go. Nancy Pelosi, all of them. The suspected child molester, Chuck Schumer, the whole gang. They cooed him. I mean, history has got to look back on this. It may be 100 years. They're going to say, holy, and no party's ever done that to their own president. He was the president, the sitting president, and they cooed him out for her. And then they
had won the primaries.
Oh, man. All right. Now, oh, God. All right, 508. And now, as much as I'm trying to laugh about that, here, hold on, I got to get the thing on my phone here. The Gold Star families were watching this. The families of those 13 service members, 11 Marines, a soldier, and a sailor, watching those 13 service members who were killed, and he defended the fiasco as a hard decision, but the right decision. There was nothing right about that decision. There was no hurry to do that right then. It didn't make any sense. And again, I can't believe that someone didn't say, wait a minute, you see all those people hanging onto the airplane? We know they're going to die. As soon as he gets like 80 feet off the ground, they're going to fall off and die. Why don't we just hold on a second until we get them off the runway and then do that? I mean, what was the problem? What was the hurry? The whole thing was just a fiasco. There was no planning for it. Anyway, so here's some of the reaction. He says, I think of those lives. I think of them every day. You dirty, rotten liar, you do not. Well, Gold Star dad Steve Nicoy said he thinks of them only because they're casualties of reckless decisions and policies. When he says he thinks of them every day, what he really means is he despises them every day because they, in his eyes, have tarnished his legacy. That withdrawal, as well as the loss of lives, are the main reason why he is a one-term president. His son, Kareem, a Lance Corporal in the Marine Corps, was among those murdered by the suicide bomber. He has no idea what he's saying at this point. The speech written by one of his staff, they're trying to cover Joe Biden for his involvement in the critical debacle of the withdrawal from Afghanistan, said another Gold Star father, Darren Hoover. He lost his son, Marine Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover, in the bombing that killed almost 200 civilians and other people at the airport. He's saying he thinks of our kids every day as a lie. He's never even said their names. He doesn't know them. It was his decision to pull out of Afghanistan and do it in the manner that he did. He has blood on his hands, and we will not forget ever. I'm glad he finally mentioned him in a speech, but he's doing it on his way out, said Herman Lopez, who lost his 22-year-old son, Marine Corporal Hunter Lopez, to the bombing. It's a little too late. It's a mixed bag of emotions. His mother, the widow the wife of the dead son, I'm glad he finally mentioned him before adding it's sad it's taken 3 years to do it. Of course, Congress earlier this month posthumously awarded the highest honor, the Congressional Gold Medal, on the 13 fallen service members and gave it to their families in the Capitol Rotunda. What a dirty, God, I can't say enough bad things about these slimy people. I mean, just slimy people. Oh, speaking of slimy people, let's have a little fun with this. Vice President Sidepiece, as you know, refuses to go to the Al Smith dinner. And let me just quickly do Cardinal Dolan's comment on this. The Cardinal of New York. Again, remember, the Al Smith dinner is run by the Catholic Charities of New York for a good cause, for charities. And Cardinal Dolan is even mocking her. He says, no one skipped the Al Smith dinner for 40 years since Walter Mondale turned it down. And remember, he lost 49 out of 50 states. Even Senator Schumer, the suspected child molester, said, I don't think she made that decision. Her staff schedule is obviously doing it. The woman's a coward, and the reason is she has no answers to specific questions. Founder, let's do cut number 2. Vice President Bump and Grind's surrogates who are coming out to try to respond to the questions about what she stands for was talking to someone, another liberal, even a liberal, saying, gee, we're trying to get a direct answer. Founder, here's how that went, cut number 2.
What is Harris's plan? We're waiting.
Okay, there's a lot of aspects to it in regards to looking at it online. So let's talk about lowering the grocery costs, because that's something that's brought up. The viewers can look at this online. She talks about certain things in regards to advancing the first federal ban on price gouging on food and groceries, to set clear rules to the road to make it clear that big corporations can't unfairly exploit consumers as well.
Is that happening? Is that happening?
It's not at this moment. No, this is her plan that's laid out for the first 100 days when she becomes president of the United States of America.
Is that currently happening?
In regards to I don't know exactly if that's currently happening or not, because I'm not privy to that type of information. But there are people are costing a lot of money in regards to groceries.
Okay. You're having a hard time articulating her plan.
Honestly, that's not true. I'm constantly being interrupted by you, which as a woman, I think is disrespectful. When I'm trying to speak, every time I try to speak, you speak over me.
Okay, final thought.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, I was giving you time there.
In regards to the groceries, it's like an 8th grader forgot to give her speech and had to make it up on the fly to run why she's running for student council. Oh my God, they're shallow now. I mean, they must be humiliated every day of their lives.
No, they think that's the part of the plan.
Now she's a victim. Now the explainer, the surrogate, is now a victim of the mean media.
There is no shame in America anymore.
Oh, my Lord.
No shame.
5:13. Well, fun times coming up. Holy crap at sports with Pete Davis, Kimber, and Flounder with you, too. 5:13 on 106.3 or something like that.
Hey, it's Rhino from The Morning Extra, getting your weekday morning started from 6 to 10 a.m.
Did y'all see the article from Time Magazine? On the front cover of the magazine, talked about, are processed and ultra-processed foods really that bad? Because that's been what RFK Jr. has been attacking.
The answer is correct. They're all bad.
Yes, they are. Of course they are. But you have the unhinged left going, well, are they? If RFK says they're bad, maybe they're not so bad.
I made my wife stop giving my youngest daughter Lunchables.
Well, yeah, but those things are just like,
they're horrible.
They're not even real food. They're not even real, but that's the thing. They are so unhinged on the left. Next, let's say RFK Jr. says, you know what, smoking's real bad. You're going to have the front of Time Magazine with nothing but a pack of Cools. Yeah, there'll be Cools. It'll be Cowboy Killers, Marlboro Reds, and they'll be like, are they really that bad? That's what's coming next.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Yeah, I got a pack of Luckies somewhere in my place that I'm saving just in case I feel like firing up one of them again. I think, by God, I just want to start smoking Luckies again. I miss smoking my Lucky Strikes. It's 5:15, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. Every time I hear Jeff and the gang, Jeff and Mark at Atlanta Safe House say, we'd like to save you from the leftists, what they're doing to our country. Boy, it's true. They saved my stuff when I had my safes up here in Atlanta Safe House. And when I went to Florida, didn't have a safe down there, lost my medical records. You know the whole story. Again, if you don't think about it, even things like, especially if you're getting up there in age and you have family stuff, or even if you're a younger person thinking about your grandparents or whoever, you need a safe to keep private things like your medical records and your financial records and what happens if something happens to you, who to call, as well as things like money and cash and jewelry and the things you want to save and stuff that are important to you from your years of your life, stuff like that. But clearly, gun safes and pistol safes, check these babies out. They can design them any way you want. They have nooks and crannies in these great big beautiful safes, always on sale. And by the way, they still got the summer prices sales going on right now. And don't forget this, for the rest of the year, Atlanta Safe House will pay the sales tax on every safe you buy. They'll pay the sales tax every safe you buy for the rest of the year. Rebates all over the place. You're going to save hundreds. All the top brands. Tell them the Kimmer sent you too. Their delivery folks are the best of the business. You can trust them. They're off-duty police, firefighters, and military, so you can have them in your house, in your office, and know that they're going to take care of you and your stuff. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. Go visit them up at Industrial Boulevard in Acworth, their showroom, and on the web, atlantasafehouse.com.
Foundation repair isn't pretty, but at Atlanta Ramjack, we make it easy. If you notice any cracks in your foundation, they need to be addressed as soon as possible to reduce additional costs that come with the repair. Why call us? Foundation repair is all we do. We have highly trained estimators that will thoroughly evaluate your home and only recommend what is needed. If you are experiencing foundation problems, please contact us at ramjack.com/Atlanta or call us at 770-502-8881.
Are you looking for something simple but delicious, sweet but also savory? Discover Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. Schumann Farms is a third-generation family farm with the Real Sweet brand and Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions. Each brand brings savory, sweet deliciousness to every meal. Whether you're grilling, sautéing, or simply adding a fresh crunch to your salad, Schumann Farms has you covered. Look for Schumann Farms Real Sweet brand and your Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions at your grocery store and taste the difference for yourself. Schumann Farms, the Georgia family farm growing tradition and the world's sweetest onions.
Are you concerned about securing your family's future and assets? Look no further than Nelson Elder Care Law. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we offer absolute assurance and peace of mind through our comprehensive asset protection services. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com to explore how we can safeguard your legacy and provide tailored solutions for your family's well-being.
Doug Moore is a health insurance broker at YourChoiceHealthPlan.net. He believes your health insurance premiums should not look like a mortgage payment. You don't have to overpay for health insurance. He sells private insurance with no deductibles and no rate increases. These plans are typically 30 to 60% less than what you're paying and don't need to change doctors. He customizes all plans to meet your budget. Don't fret. Go to YourChoiceHealthPlan.net. He can save you big money. Call Doug Moore at 770-697-0100. That's 770-697-0100. Don't fret. Go to YourChoiceHealthPlan.net. If your payment is too high, you're on COBRA, or your work coverage is too expensive, call Doug, 770-697-0100. You don't have to have government marketplace insurance that's crazy expensive. Don't fret. Go to YourChoiceHealthPlan.net and request a quote. Call 770-697-0100 and let Doug design a plan for you, not by big government.
Hey guys, Donald Trump Jr. here with urgent news. The world's central banks are making unprecedented moves, and it's time to pay attention. In 2022 and 2023, they bought more gold than ever before. And now in 2024, the trend is accelerating. Why? Because central banks have lost faith in the dollar. And in these uncertain times, gold is the ultimate safe haven. If you too are worried about the dollar, I urge you to take similar action by diversifying your IRA or 401k into gold with my trusted friends at Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word hedge to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantage status. So text hedge to 989898. That's hedge to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
I got our 5 o'clock hour sponsored by Lee Brandt Jewelers, where luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com. It's 5:20, and that means holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Braves and Mets square off in a 3-game series starting tonight in Truist Park. Could very well determine if they make the playoffs. The 11-6 Luis Severino for New York against the 7-7 rookie sensation Spencer Schwellenbach for Atlanta. Bravos 1.5 games behind the D-backs for the final wild card spot in the NL. The Mets are in second place for the wild card, so we're really chasing Arizona at this point. Wow. So we'll see. And even if they make the postseason, Austin Riley will not be there. His broken hand has not healed enough to let him play anymore this season. So he's gone for the season.
I forgot.
So you got a rookie pitcher who can't control where he's throwing the fastball, and it ends Austin Riley's season.
Oh, my goodness.
Because they just throw as hard as they can, and they don't care where it goes. And that's what happened. Ronaldo Lopez might be activated to pitch later this week, so there's a ray of sunshine there. The Braves' 6-year stranglehold on the NL East is over as the Phillies have officially won the division after laying down to the Mets. You'd think they'd have played harder to beat New York since they've owned the Bravos in the last 2 postseasons, but no. So it'll be good karma if the Mets end up upsetting the Phils in the playoffs. In fact, I will probably pull for the Mets if they play the Phils.
Well, you have
I'm
to.
just tired of it.
Yeah.
I have to. And that hurts to even say that.
Yeah,
but
I
anyway.
like it.
Bushy bearded Charlie Blackmon is retiring at the end of the season after playing all 14 years with the Rockies. Won a National League batting title in 2017, hitting .331. The 38-year-old Blackmon, drafted out of Georgia Tech in 2008, a .292 average so far with 226 homers, 148 stolen bases, also a 2-time Silver Slugger winner. And he closed his Instagram post to the fans with a shout out to the kids' baseball movie The Sandlot. Quote, "I'll hop over that fence, pickle the beast, and embrace the next phase of my life."
You're killing me, Smalls.
Killing me, Smalls. Anyway, rapper Macklemore, is that how you pronounce it, Flounder?
Macklemore.
Yeah. This guy needs to be found in an alley somewhere. He's part owner of the NHL Seattle Krakens and MLS Seattle Sounders. Well, both teams are trying to distance themselves from him after he yelled F America during a pro-Hamas rally in Seattle. The Grammy-winning American rapper also has an anti-Israeli song glorifying the cowardly protesters at Columbia University. So he's an anti-Semite, and he hates his own country. So treat him accordingly. Don't buy his
soccer guy. Is that the deal? Seattle.
Soccer and hockey.
Yeah.
And hockey. College football news. At least one college football game will be affected by Hurricane Helene this weekend. Florida A&M, located in Tallahassee, has already rescheduled their game versus Alabama A&M. They're going to move it to Friday, November 29th. It probably won't be the last. We'll see. Yeah. Peter Burns of ESPN has these crazy stats. Bulldog fans might want to look away. Dogs are 45-2 since 2021. Their 2 losses are to
Alabama.
Alabama. The Dogs have lost 8 of their 9 games to
Alabama.
Alabama. Kirby Smart is 1-5
against Alabama, ladies and gentlemen.
Alabama. But that was against Nick Saban.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a new era in Tuscaloosa. By the way, 5 of the top 8 ranked teams in the AP poll worked under Saban. Steve Sarkisian, Kirby Smart, Lane Kiffin, Mario Cristobal, and Dan Lanning all were part of the Saban tree.
Wow.
Auburn head coach Hugh Freeze, who was not part of that tree, doesn't know when to shut up. After losing at home to the Razorbacks, escort service enthusiast Freeze said he hopes Arkansas head coach Sam Pittman wins all the rest of his games, but if the Tigers played the Hogs 9 more times, then Auburn would win 9 out of 9.
Okay.
It wasn't even that close. Anyway, can you say Bobby Petrino, Tigers fans? Maybe the second attempt at him will be the charm. We'll see. After getting turned down by Memphis and other schools, the Pac-12 has finally gotten someone to play with them. Utah State is joining the Pac-whatever they are called these days. Lord. So good for them. They're getting San Diego State, so there's a good one. NFL news, Brett Favre announced he's been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. The NFL Hall of Fame quarterback testified before a congressional committee on welfare for poor families and said, sadly, I also lost an investment in a company that I believed was developing a breakthrough concussion drug that I thought would help others. And I'm sure you'll understand, while it's too late for me because I've been recently diagnosed with Parkinson's, this is also a cause dear to my heart.
Wow.
So
does he talk about concussions and football injuries?
Yeah, he says he had like hundreds of them. Yeah. He says he's had hundreds of them. Yeah. So anyway, former ESPN draft analyst Todd McShay went off on Travis Kelce, saying the Chiefs tight end is out of shape because he spent all his offseason drinking alcohol and partying with his girlfriend, whose name escapes me right now. She didn't bother to show up at the game.
Oh, yeah.
McShay says it's like everyone in the media is too scared of the NFL to criticize the league's golden boy. Now, my main concern, I don't know if you've seen him, Kelsey's new hairstyle looks like he's Lurch from the Addams Family. Have you seen that haircut?
Yeah, something different about it.
The porn stash, okay. Morning Joe has the porn stash, but the hair, I just don't get that. Yeah. I wish I could grow that, but anyway. Well. The AJC reports the Falcons have been in 27 third down situations in their 3 games. They've only converted 6 of the 27.
Wow.
And they placed center Drew Dahlman on injured reserve. They've signed offensive lineman Elijah Wilkinson from the practice squad to the active roster. Wilkinson played for the Falcons 2 years ago. They also signed O-lineman Matt Hennessy to the practice squad. So the Falcons will be without Dahlman until at least week 8 of the season, almost halfway through the season.
Goodness.
Yeah, not good news there. No. We know more about why Lions head coach Dan Campbell had to move his family out of their Detroit suburb home. Their address was doxed on social media, which led to safety fears. Seems a classmate of Campbell's daughter posted the family's home address on Snapchat along with the message, "Dumb F," trying to go for it.
That's a arrestable offense. Holy smokes.
The kids attend an exclusive private school. He did not show up to school the following day. Investigators went to seek him out. His mother says, okay, we're now aware of this. We will take matters. No word on that they're going to charge him on this. The plan was to egg the Campbell's house. I don't know if these idiots have seen how large Dan Campbell is, but that's probably not a good idea.
Well, isn't that like a threatening domestic terrorism kind of thing? I mean, there's got to be
That's not good to dox somebody's address.
Oh, man. Especially, obviously, a coach and a controversial thing. I mean, he's asking for trouble. That kid was hoping something bad would happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's not right.
2 Monday night NFL games last night. You won't be hearing anyone yelling Duval anytime soon after the Jaguars got spanked in Buffalo 47-10. Jags head coach Doug Peterson, interim, is on thin ice as Trevor Lawrence continues to disappoint. Jacksonville now 0-3. And the Commanders shocked the Bengals in Cincy as Washington quarterback Jaden Daniels tore them a new one to beat his predecessor at LSU, Joe Burrow, 38-33. Cincinnati now 0-3. And D.C. receiver Terry McLaurin looks like he's finally got a quarterback who can get him the ball with Daniels. Now, here's a list of the signal callers Terry McLaurin has had to deal with in his time in Washington. Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
He's the best of this list.
Wow. Oh, boy.
That shows you the list. Sam Howell, Carson Wentz, Garrett Gilbert, Taylor Heineke, Kyle Allen, Dwayne Haskins, who's not only no longer with the team, he's no longer breathing. He's left the mortal coil. Worst case, Keenum. He's good in the commercial, though, as the backup quarterback driving the thing. I like that. One-legged comeback player of the year, Alex Smith, and Colt McCoy. Those are not NFL quarterbacks. No. Just saying. And Bengals and Commanders combined to accomplish a feat no two teams have done in more than 80 years. During their clash last night, neither the Bengals or the Commanders turned the ball over or punted. The first game with no turnovers or punts since 1940, since FDR was president. The year the Bears beat the Washington Redskins 73-0 in the NFL championship game. The most lopsided title game in league history. Please don't tell the Atlanta Falcons. They might see that as a challenge. In fact, the Commanders just played 2 games in a row with no turnovers and no punts, which had never been done before in the Super Bowl era.
The no punts, really amazing. I said they're making all their third downs or they're making interceptions or something. But if they didn't punt the ball, it means, wow, that's a tribute.
As I've said before, last year's healthy and productive Christian McCaffrey is the anomaly. His default position is injured and on the bench. And this year, the talented running back is injured again. His Achilles so bad, he's in Germany getting looked at by doctors in Europe. Now, I don't want to say anything about that, doctors over there.
Mengele and all
but
those
the Germans reportedly have an experimental procedure.
Well, I don't know. Wait a minute.
They replaced the tendon with vibranium, the miracle metal just discovered in the African nation of Wakanda. So we'll see how that works. That works out for him. And a current teammate of Blair Fleming, a man pretending to be a woman on the undefeated San Jose State women's volleyball team, has joined more than a dozen other female athletes in suing the NCAA for Title IX violations. Brooke Slusser, the starting setter and co-captain of SJSU's team, says she was forced both to compete and to share a residence with Fleming without any prior notice that the athlete is male. The school initially hid the fact that the 6'1" outside hitter was born a man and allegedly withheld that fact from Slusser as well. She was frequently assigned by the athletic department to room with him on road trips, later finding out that he specifically requested her.
Oh, my God. Did somebody just stop this? My God.
Oh, it's worse. It gets worse. Once knowledge of Fleming's biological sex became public, San Jose State officials told the women's volleyball players that they should not speak about it with anyone outside the team. If they were to speak publicly about Fleming being a man, they were warned things would go badly for you team members.
Well, why is there still a team? They should all be quitting. They should all be walking out and having a protest, and we cover it.
And I see Flounder has abandoned his position, but now he's back.
He's so upset.
He's back. Today in history, September 24th, from ABC's Wide World of Sports.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here? I had you people try to get a little track lead, not to jump around like a bunch of Kansas City.
Wait a minute.
Check that one.
I meant ABC's Wide World of Sports. 1921, Jim McKay was born. He's in the Hall of Fame. Born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The great Jim McKay.
Yes, and he was the one who brought us the sad news at the Olympics in Munich in '72 and said they're all dead. They're all dead.
They're all gone. Yeah. They're all gone.
Thank you, Pete. So much more coming up with that, by the way, with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder's Funnies. It's 5:32 on 106.3, 404-741-1230 if you want to join us here on your Let It Rip Tuesday, as it turns out.
Atlanta radio legends, proud military vets, national network experts are all on Extra 106.3.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months.
With live and local shows in the morning and afternoon, and the biggest conservative hosts in the country throughout the day. We are always here with the latest news and opinions you need.
There's no chance if the media and the Department of Justice and social media are all against you.
No traffic interruptions, no former shock jocks, just Atlanta legends you've turned to for a generation. The conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
One of the hardest things to do is to walk away from a paycheck. As retirement planners, Masterplan knows how hard it can be to pull the trigger on your own retirement. Don't go it alone. Masterplan is a holistic retirement planning firm that works with you to create a retirement plan to help maximize your golden years. Through income planning and money management, legacy planning, and tax planning, we create a plan specifically designed for your life. Enter retirement with confidence. Contact Masterplan to analyze your retirement outlook and create a plan that's right for you. All initial consultations are complimentary, so contact us today and begin your pursuit towards peace of mind. Visit masterplanretire.com. Masterplan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Masterplan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Masterplan Retirement Consulting. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
With the upcoming election, an assassination attempt on President Trump, wars overseas, inflation, and stock market volatility, these are uncertain times. Do you have a plan? Are you prepared today to have a worry-free tomorrow? If you haven't been to True Prep, now is the time. True Prep is locally owned and operated by Joey and Matthew, who are Georgia Tech graduates. Visit True Prep on Cobb Parkway in Marietta or visit online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Hey, it's Tug. Fall is here, and winter's right around the corner. Now's the time to start thinking about upgrading your home's windows and doors with Southern Exteriors. Whether you're looking for energy-efficient windows, elegant entry doors, or durable patio doors, we've got the perfect fit for your home. Plus, you can take advantage of 0% interest with no payments for up to 6 months. Call Southern Exteriors today, 877-9-SOUTHERN, or visit southernexteriors.co. Quality and precision you can rely on.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
While fall temperatures are cooling down, the action in the stadium and on the field is really heating up. If you find yourself in hot water from too much celebrating during the game, it's important to know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we handle bonds from the Battery to the Bends, and even for those who celebrate action between the hedges. At A Second Chance, we can have you or your loved one out of jail in a matter of hours. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
Here we go. Look out, 5:36. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Rush.
My eyes just didn't seem so bright.
Yes. Rush with another love song, releasing their third album in 1975 on this day.
Ballad.
Correct. A lullaby for the new mothers of their fans. Caress of Steel, yes. The album didn't sell as well as the predecessor, Fly By Night. Rush was poorly received by critics. Rush later admitted the album's lack of focus and quality to copious amounts of marijuana consumed while they were doing it. Golly, how unusual.
That doesn't affect
I thought it was supposed to make you better at what you did, I think. By the way, I just saw a lovely sight. One of the guys who works here, and I guess that's his little girl. There's like a 2-year-old little girl wearing a little jumper outfit, and he's got her in his arms, and she was in the office with him today, and he's carrying her in his arms, like a shoulder with her arm around his neck, like, oh my God, I'm going to cry.
You know that's right. I just realized.
What?
Will they get these games in? It's going to start raining tomorrow, right?
Yeah, they may not. In fact, they're talking about having the Thursday game at 1 o'clock, if they even have a Thursday game. So
they have to play the games sometime.
Yeah,
they got to play them.
Yeah, that's right. Or you won't have postseason. So yeah, so it could be a hell of a weekend for that matter. And double headers for like 4 days in a row or something all over the country.
I don't know, man. You can't do that. You can't do that.
I can't imagine. But a couple of sports things here. 5:38, Pete Davis. Stephanie McMahon, the daughter of Vince McMahon, is 48. Stephanie is the former WWE wrestler who married Triple H. I don't know what that is. Mean Joe Green, Pittsburgh Steelers legend, hero of the commercial for "It's Okay, you can have my Coke." Mean Joe Green is 78 years old today. And let's see, the Brooklyn Dodgers played their last game at Ebbets Field on this day in 1957, and Babe Ruth played his last game with the New York Yankees in 1934. The Boston Red Sox beat the Babe and the Yankees 5-0.
How many fans showed up in Yankee Stadium to see that?
Oh, man, is it sold out or nobody?
Guess.
Well, Yankee Stadium, probably 40,000.
Less.
32,000.
Less.
19,000.
Less.
9,000 people.
Less.
Hey, no, come on. It was Babe Ruth, Yankees, 1934. What else were they going to be doing in 1934? After the Depression, going back to the ballpark, how many were there?
1,500.
Oh, my God. To see Babe Ruth's last game with the Yankees.
Now, I don't know if they advertised it as his last game. It just was his last game. And he walked, and they put a pinch runner in, and that was it.
And that was a ball game. Can you imagine the people who are going to wait to see the next game, finally see the Babe the next day? Anyway. And let's see if I got one more thing here. Oh, yeah, here we go. 1988. Canadian sprinter Ben Johnson wins gold at the Olympics in Seoul in 88 with a world record of 9.79 in the 100-meter dash. 3 days later, he was testing positive for steroids like stanozolol or whatever it is, and they sent him home in disgrace. I remember the pictures of Ben Johnson. Wasn't that the famous picture of his muscles like flying way off to the side when he was coming into when he was stretching for the? I remember seeing a picture, and they showed his muscles looked like they were just fleeing from his body, like they were like made of water. They were all flying all over the place, showing that he was really juiced up or something.
Do you have a man crush on him?
No. I remember the picture, and when they took away his medals, and he was in disgrace. So anyway, 540. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? 404-741-1230.
Did you? New York Post says that Nancy Pelosi's husband sold more than $500,000 worth of Visa stock just weeks before the Department of Justice's antitrust lawsuit came down. It's amazing how good they are at stock trading.
Just a coinkydink, kind of a coinkydink.
Sure.
Really, there's no. I'm sure that she was never discussing morally. She would never, give a tip or anything to her own husband who made. What did they make? $200 million was it they made together?
Perish the thought.
This is years ago, but 60 Minutes did a piece on this on her and her stock trading.
That's right. And again, she was also not in favor of banning members of the legislature from investing in stocks and bonds and stuff too, which is not terrible.
In a real serious country, none of them will be allowed to trade stocks while they're in office or become lobbyists afterwards.
Absolutely. Let's see. A couple things. Oregon mistakenly registered 1,200 non-citizens to vote. Of course, nothing bad could happen in the elections and stuff here in America. Sam Bankman-Fried's ex-girlfriend, Caroline Ellison, has been sentenced to 2 years in prison. Co-conspirator of the FTX founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, sentenced to 2 years in prison, defrauding investors and customers of cryptocurrency platform ahead of the multi-billion-dollar collapse. The judge handed her the 2-year term along with 3 years of supervision, and the girl has to forfeit $7 billion. She was that hideous-looking glasses-wearing thing for the CEO of the Alameda Research Branch when they went bankrupt. She pleaded guilty to 2 counts of wire fraud, 5 conspiracy charges, cooperated with the prosecutors. Sam Bankman-Fried was convicted this year, sentenced to 25 years in prison. He faced she faced 110 years in prison. Even prosecutors said the judge should show her some leniency because she cooperated. But again, this was a monster case back then too. All right, hold on a second. What else we got? Oh, a bizarre. Don't mess with chicks involved with road rage in Brookhaven, of all places. About 10 o'clock at night the other day, an investigation found that Danielle Lloyd from Brookhaven had been arguing with a pedestrian when she apparently ran over him with her car, with her BMW, and left the scene. The witnesses say that she was stopped. They had an argument. She was stopped. She intentionally accelerated her black BMW from a stop, jumped the curb, and struck the guy, shoved him onto the grassy knoll, whereby then she intentionally drove over his body and took off. The guy died. So this woman's in the Fayette County Jail on several charges, including murder, for running over him on purpose. They had a fight with a pedestrian. Holy cow, lady. It's bad enough that she hit him with a car and knocked him onto the lawn. That pretty much should have really been it, don't you think? I mean, he probably would have still lived maybe some broken bones, but running over him deliberately is not, that's, cars are heavy.
It's like the Simpsons meme. Where stop beating him. He's already dead.
My God. And another one of my favorites today, the only things in the Al Jazeera constipation normally, other than a little bit of leftist political stuff, is crime. And at South Cobb High School the other day, Cobb County Police got called 9 o'clock at night. There was an off-campus event. Somebody hired the campus. It wasn't the school district. They were hiring it for something else. Anyway, so all these kids showed up, and they're having a little thing, and they started some shooting and a fight. And the problem, police have now arrested a 14-year-old boy for reckless conduct, aggravated assault, having a firearm, criminal trespass, violation of probation. So the 14-year-old gunman who was shooting up the Cobb County School, South Cobb High School, was already on probation at the age of 14. Gee, I wonder if Mommy and Daddy used to read to him at night before he went to sleep. I wonder if they know his teachers real well at school, have meetings about how he's doing, check his homework every night, stuff they go, stuff like that, family outings. I tell you, you're raising gangsters, and this is what happens. 14-year-old kid. Already on probation, a teenage boy got a shooting. I mean, it's just, it's just, God. 5:45 already, holy cow. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230. Let It Rip Tuesday. I'll be gone tomorrow doing my tooth thing, extraction deal. But the boys will be here. They're going to be fine. That's 5:45. Flounder's funny, and one more funny coming up, too, on 106.3. Here you go. I got
some more Bill Burr.
And more Bill Burr, yes, I love it.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Kamala Harris sees an end to right to work. No private sector worker will be allowed to avoid union membership and union dues if that's what the majority of his co-workers want.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Your Atlanta Braves are fighting for a spot in the postseason and want to celebrate fans with a very special Fan Appreciation Week, September 24th through the 29th, when the New York Mets and Kansas City Royals come to town. Fans can enjoy giveaways, discounts, and great entertainment. Don't miss the Mystery Bobble giveaway for the first 10,000 fans through the gates on September 27th. Plus, fans get 50% off all concessions until first pitch for all games during the week. 40% off City Connect jerseys in the retail stores, and free games in Hope and Will's Sandlot.
That's going back and gone. Clear across the yard for Marcell Ozuna.
And the homestand features the City Connect replica jersey giveaway presented by Xfinity, Los Bravos theme night and ticket pack, and the popular Barbie ticket pack, complete with a hot pink jersey, perfect for the ladies in your life. Tickets start at just $9. So make sure to get yours today at Braves.com/promos. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country. Intelligent technology that's more intuitive. Electrified power wrapped in sporty elegance. Meet the 2024 Mercedes-Benz C300 sedan. The leader of the pack with a sensual interior, the C300 sedan is a driver's delight and paradise for passengers. Experience the 2024 C300 sedan today. Lease one today for just $509 per month for 36 months with $4203 due at signing. Exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models. And visit today to see how to qualify. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through September 30th, 2024. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
Oh, man, look at my backyard. Looks like a tornado met a hurricane in a desert. I'm going to tell her to turf off.
Or
Or maybe you'd rather turf on with ATL Turf Co., the Southeast's leading turf installer. Whether you'd like a new football field, putting green, or have us create the perfect maintenance-free backyard of your dreams, find ATLTurfCo.com. Make your yard great again. Visit ATLTurfCo.com and see what we've created for customers like you in the Southeast. ATLTurfCo.com. And no more yard cackling.
Does it seem like it's getting louder and louder? Yeah, that's not supposed to happen. That noise is your garage door crying for help. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Our highly trained technicians provide 24/7 service, upfront pricing, and free estimates. We service all major brands. Our products are warranted, and our work is guaranteed. We will treat you like our only customer. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.com.
Thanksgiving is just around the corner. Always wanted to smoke a turkey but weren't sure how? We can teach you at Southern Thunder Barbecue School. Our October class will cover all the traditional barbecue meats: brisket, pulled pork, ribs, chicken, and pork loin. And as a bonus, you'll learn smoked turkey with gravy so you can wow your guests for Thanksgiving dinner. Learning to cook the perfect barbecue is not a topic learned from a book. It takes hands-on instruction, the kind you get at Southern Thunder Barbecue School. Our classes are designed and taught by Grand Championship pros with real-life experience, competing, instructing, and catering barbecue events. A day-long class at Southern Thunder Barbecue School makes a fantastic gift. So do your loved ones a favor and tell them what you really want is the Barbecue with the Pros class, available now at SouthernThunderBBQ.com. That's SouthernThunderBBQ.com.
Join your Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets on Saturday, October 5th, as they take on the Duke Blue Devils in Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field, presented by Kroger.
Into the end zone! Touchdown, Jackets!
North Avenue will transform into hell of a block party driven by Hyundai, including a free concert featuring hit country music artist Lauren Elena.
And the Jackets take over on downs!
Tickets start at only $30 at RamlinRec.com/tickets. Sting 'em.
Yeah, there you go. 550, how are you? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davidson, Flounder, and Jimi Hendrix. Is he singing in there? I can. There we go. Okay. 1966. Jimi Hendrix arrived in London with manager Chaz Chandler on a flight from New York with only the clothes he was wearing. Jimi Hendrix had sold his other belongings to pay a hotel bill in New York. One of the first things he did after arriving in England was to legally change his name from James to Jimmy, J-I-M-I. He was James Hendrix and then became Jimmy after he lost his clothes. Well, that's kind of bizarre. Let's see. On this day in history, I got a little something here. Nirvana released Nevermind, their smash hit Smells Like Teen Spirit in 1991. And let's see, in 1964, President LBJ gets the Warren Commission report on the assassination of President Kennedy. It concludes, of course, that it was only Lee Harvey Oswald, all by himself, who pulled it off. No Grassy Knoll, no CIA, no mobsters, no Carlos Marcello. It showed the Secret Service did a crappy job of protecting him from the planning on down, which is fairly obvious, I guess, at this point. Anyway, 552, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Just in. Greg Price sent this along on one of his ex-Twitter posts. Carmela Sidepiece told America on debate night that Goldman Sachs and the Wharton School of Business said that her economic plan is better than Trump's. Well, just in, both Goldman Sachs and Wharton have now said she's lying. Not only did Wharton say that she lied, they said we did not find a positive impact on the economy from her plan in any future year. Reaction, golly, I've never seen anything quite like this weird, dishonest campaign. Despite Harris's lack of a national security platform, Democrats entering a new phase of feverish speculation surrounding who might be tapped to create and execute her foreign policy agenda. I mean, by also no fact-checking from the ABC moderators. She, surprise, surprise. That's all she does is lying. That's her specialty. Oh, my God. She'll say anything to sell her empty agenda, even if it means dragging big names into her lives. Goldman Sachs and Wharton aren't backing her up because they know the truth. Her plan's a disaster. Everybody's waking up to it. Too bad our media won't cover it. Can you imagine if Trump had said that and they said he was lying? Boy, the coverage would never end. I mean, again, just switch the parties on every scandal and look at the media coverage. And I mean, I'm surprised we win any election. Honestly, in the last 4 years, we've done anything in this country. I'm surprised they haven't killed Trump. Thank God.
Well, they've tried twice.
Seriously, these freaking people, man. Well, 554. By the way, there's a rather bizarre thing in the news here today. The 10 best and worst American cities for women to live in. And I wasn't thinking much about it until I realized when I looked at where the cities are in both categories. Well, the Wallet Hub people did a ranking of the best and worst cities, less and best suitable for the fairer sex, based on things like personal safety, employment opportunities, yearly wages, access to preventative health care, prevalence of rape, crime, stuff like that. The number one city, these are best and worst cities for women. The number one best city overall for women to live in is Columbia, Maryland. Highest median annual wages. Unemployment rate is good. Business is owned by women. Life expectancy is long, stuff like that. But here, just for the record, just for the fun of it, the best cities for women are listed thusly: Maryland, California, D.C., Arkansas, Washington State, and Arizona. Those are all, one sort of western state, and the rest of them are California, Maryland, and D.C. And here are those are all the states where the cities are. Here are the worst cities in America for women: Jackson, Mississippi; Gulfport, Mississippi; Brownsville, Texas; Augusta, Georgia; Shreveport, Louisiana; Huntington, West Virginia; Laredo, Texas; Akron, Ohio, my God, a northern city; Lubbock, Texas; and Columbus, Georgia. Georgia has 2 of the worst cities for women in America, and all the rest of them, with one exception, 9 are in the South.
Let me just say right now that every time they put Mississippi on one of these lists of the worst of, I open a beer and I salute it, because that means when I go to visit relatives or go over to Mississippi, I don't run into any of these a-holes who hate that state.
That's right.
They never go there.
They don't dare.
Thank you.
These women will say, "Now wait a minute, mister. They don't take this kind of crap off of people.
They're not moving from California to Mississippi."
No, sir.
I'm telling you. They're coming to Atlanta.
I don't be having any garage sales with those people. By the way, here are the 10 happiest states to live in. This was by, let's see, the current Data Census Bureau. And who put this together? Wallet Hub, another Wallet Hub, 10 happiest states to live in. Check this out. The 10 happiest states. Massachusetts. Nebraska, Idaho, Connecticut, Minnesota, Delaware, Utah, New Jersey, Maryland, and Hawaii. Well, Hawaii, because who wouldn't want to live in Hawaii? But all the rest of them are all in the north. There's not one state, a happy state to live in that's anywhere near the South. Delaware.
Isn't it funny that the people are all moving to states that are not on that list?
It's unbelievable.
Huh.
I mean, think about that. Wallet, again, based on, income and safety and sports participation, life expectancy, well-being. Yeah, Massachusetts. My God.
Minneapolis.
Fleeing Taxachusetts. Anyway, 557, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. In case you missed it, I'm worried about this P. Diddy business. Now they're talking about stories with his stepdaughter and whether she may be involved in some of the shenanigans at all these parties and stuff. Oh, man, it's just getting creepier and creepier. And he's being sued today by a woman who says that she can prove that she was drugged and raped by him and his staff, and that they filmed it and kept the video and may have been part of the videos they've been selling to people on the dark web.
Staff?
Holy smoke-a-roonies. And they're saying that Ben Affleck and J-Lo may be breaking up because of her involvement with P. Diddy tapes that now the FBI, this guy says, the Suge Knight says, the FBI gave to Ben Affleck, and that's why he says, okay, this marriage is over. Again, I don't know. I mean, it's just, whole thing's creepy. Flounder, one last Flounder's Funny with our good buddy Bill Burr. What do you think, sir? One more time.
Dude, I shot a 5-shot 38 one time without earplugs. Okay, I was landscaping this guy's yard, right? He comes out at the end of the job, goes, hey, I got this 5-shot 38. You want to go down the street? You know, there's a burned out car. Maybe we take a couple shots or whatever, you know? You know what's funny? Every other state is dying laughing at this point in the joke because it's so goddamn ridiculous until I get down to the South. You just sit here staring at me like, all right, so, you know, what happened?
So?
I'm mowing a lawn and a stranger comes out with a weapon and says, let's shoot it at a burned out car.
And, you know, every state reacts differently until I come to the South. So, guy's got a gun, so. What big deal?
There's some shooting.
Oh, mercy. Anyway, tomorrow, boys, I'm off. Pete Davis and Flounder got the show in good hands, so I'll be doing my surgical thing with the old tooth action stuff with Dr. Dean and the beautiful babes at Atlanta Smiles. In the meantime, Christine, sing me home, baby. It's only the giver. I gotta go. You're killing me. Hoorah, Semper Fi, baby. Hoorah, Herb, look out.
The Morning Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. and The Kimmer Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Only on WFOM and W292EV Marietta. Extra 106.3 FM.